glorious afternoon. Is it afternoon yet? It is afternoon.
Just about. I mean, I've had a couple of gins already, so I hope it's the afternoon.
Live from Shelsley Walsh with the uphill climb.
Hold on, Shelsley Walsh.
Well, look, you are a local, Max. How do you pronounce it properly?
Shelsley Walsh.
Shelsley Walsh. Am I saying it right, yeah? Okay, we are in the pod. It is the Piston Distillery Gumball 3000 pod. We are here throughout the day, and we are joined by Nick from Piston Distillery. How are you, Nick?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, good.
And?
The main man from Gumball 3000, Max. How are you?
I'm very good. And who are you two?
Well,
who are the
he's Andy
hosts?
Purnell.
And this is the style of Gumball, what year?
2016, but we're not going to talk about that.
The style of Gumball 2016, Martin2Smoove.
Yeah.
You can't miss Martin. He's wearing the very stylish Gumball Toronto to Miami Kappa shell suit.
Yeah, collab, and it is out when it's out later on this month. Correct?
It's out.
And he's also got his wife's trainers on today.
Real men wear pink. That's all I'll say. So you guys are from the area. This is probably something that you've been to before, right?
Yeah, Shelsley's somewhere that Piston have had a lot of involvement with over the last few years. And today, as a celebration of us and our involvement in the Gumball Rally this year with Max and his crew, we decided to put this little activation event together. Get a few people down here with their cars, drink some gin, eat some tasty street food, and hang out with our friends.
What a great day for it. And more importantly, are you guys involved in the uphill challenge today? Are you guys driving?
In the what challenge?
The uphill.
The uphill challenge. It's a hill climb. And we are at the hill climb.
Yeah. Are you driving it?
I'm going to cruise up the hill in the very beautiful Rolls-Royce Black Badge Ghost, but I don't think I'll be racing it too much.
Doesn't sound like talk, Max.
It doesn't, but you know what? I'm planning on playing in a charity football match at the end of Gumball, and I happened to break 2 ribs a couple of weeks ago. Playing football. First training session.
No way. I got to say, I was disappointed when you didn't show up the other day.
I was there in spirit.
And what is the football match we're talking about? Gumball is...
Yeah, so obviously, today's event is, we're here in beautiful Worcestershire. Like you said, I grew up around here, not too far, like 20 minutes away. And it's amazing to be back. Seeing lots of old friends here is great. And it's a kind of we're calling it the warm-up, because this year's Gumball starts the end of May. We're driving from Toronto all the way down to Miami with parties en route with the Indy 500, Nashville, Atlanta, and at the end of the event, we're doing a charity football match with David Beckham into Miami, and
at the stadium,
and I'm training to kind of kick a few balls in that match.
Yeah.
Well, we've heard you're quite the football player. What position would you be?
Well, I might have been, but I'm not quite sure right now. I'm not quite sure I'm fit enough right now, but I used to play midfield. And I love football, so yeah.
Good stuff. But there's been some incredible cars that we've seen pulling up already today. Is there anything that's caught your eye?
I think, you're right. There's some amazing cars, and actually I haven't even had a chance yet to walk around. There's a concourse display. You've obviously got the paddock. You've got supercars on display down another area. So I'm going to have a wander around. But I'm obviously a huge fan of Morgan. Especially growing up around here. Morgan is in my kind of blood, if you like, and I kind of want to get one of these 3-wheelers. What do you think?
I mean, I wouldn't take it on the rally, but it is a beautiful car.
Well, in 2012, we had one do the rally.
Yeah.
Really?
It's like the earlier edition of this one, but Charles Morgan and his wife actually drove Gumball in that from New York to Los Angeles, and of course won Spirit of Gumball, as you would if you did 3,000 miles in that. But yeah, I love Morgans, and apart from that, looking around, I see Schmee's brought a couple of nice cars. I think James, MrJWW's brought something pretty fast as well.
And they'll all both be joining us on the pod here later.
They will, along with, I think you'll be hosting us throughout the afternoon, right?
That is correct, unless we get kicked off at any point.
Good chance of that as well.
Well, if you keep drinking these cocktails like you are, then I'm expecting.
Well, you need to tell your guys to
calm
down and provide in the gym.
Tell us about the cocktails, because you're here.
So this is I try it. This is one of our little ginger gin cocktails that the guys have brought over for you to try. So we've got our little cocktail bar in the driver's enclosure up there for anyone that's black
I'll
banded
tell you
up
what,
today.
I'll give it a try right now.
And there's obviously gin bars all around the place. Lots of great vendors here selling fantastic food. Digbeth Dining Club have got all the street food out in the field behind us. Lots of great car enthusiasts, lots of motorsport companies here showing off their works today. Some great cakes, which is always good. I've eaten a few too many of those.
Bit of Gumball merch.
There's some Gumball merch down in the barn. Some nice art to look at.
And a sim racer as well.
Yeah,
I think.
Axim here is. There's a little prize for the fastest person on the simulator today. So
What is the prize?
I suspect it's gin, Martin.
Oh, I'm entering that.
Is there a prize for the slowest person on the simulator?
Well, if that's what you need there to be, Andy, I'm sure we can make one for you.
I don't think I'll be the fastest. So
Empty bottle of gin.
I'll just say I tried the cocktail, absolutely tremendous. Fully vouch for it. Which one was
Thank
that
you.
again, Nick?
Well, I call it a Jerry Halliwell because it's ginger and spicy. So I'm not sure it's endorsed by her yet. Yet.
We'll call it the Jerry Halliwell for now.
Well, I'm
Thank you.
endorsing the Jerry Halliwell cocktail. It's delicious.
Outstanding.
This is the first year that you're involved in actually driving the rally as well, aren't you?
It is, yeah. It's been on my bucket list for a long, long time. Max and I met a couple of years ago, and obviously it's been postponed for a couple of years, which has not been a great time for anyone really, but it's great that it's all back on. Great that we're finally going to get to do it. Great that we've been able to put this event together to sort of celebrate that and to get everybody in the mood for the rally again. So yeah, we're really looking forward to it. Not long to go, 4 weeks.
Are you prepared? You got everything ready?
Absolutely not, Martin, no.
I knew the answer to that. I just wanted
You
to say-
did. Not even got a car yet, so could well be hitchhiking, which would be reminiscent of the first rally. I think the Jackass crew hitchhiked a leg,
There's
didn't
always
they?
a few hitchhikers along the way.
Yeah, it could happen
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. All right. So,
Well, I think we're back up shortly with some of the incredible guests that we've already mentioned today. So,
Like we said, we got MrJWW, Shmee.
yeah, we do. We've got.
I think Morgan Cars are coming up now as well to do a bit of a talk on here, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think we've got a number of automotive companies coming up that we can talk to. So yeah, looking
Little
forward
Car
to the day.
Company are coming. This is their miniature Bugatti here, licensed production of those, and they've got their fantastic miniature Testarossa down in the paddocks, which has been up the hill a couple of times. Very cool little thing. Very affordable if anyone wants to buy one.
So we'll be back here shortly, right here at the pod with Piston Distillery and Gumball 3000. We're here throughout the day with some exciting interviews and car talk and all of that good stuff.
We'll see you shortly. Welcome back to the Gumball 3000 and Piston Distillery pod and mine. We are joined by Shane from Morgan. Shane, how are you?
How you doing, you guys?
Oh, we're very excited to be here. This is quite local for you, right?
Yeah, we're just up the road about half an hour away at Malvern. So.
The rumour is that you only agreed to do this when you found out how local it was. Can you confirm or deny,
Or deny that rumour. Let us know.
I deny the rumour, I think, yeah.
Oh.
So you're saying you would have travelled anywhere for this?
Of course, yeah. We like to get out there and show off the cars for sure.
And that's
Why
we're
wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Look at we've got some of your beauties around here. Like this is one of yours, right?
Yes, these are, just
Two
in
at
front
the
of us.
front.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the freewheel. Talk to us a little bit about the cars that you got on here.
Yeah, the Super 3 just in front of us is unbelievable spec, actually. I was sort of admiring it this morning when we got here. Yeah, I'm very lucky and fortunate to be able to do some development driving for
Okay.
all of the cars in some way, which is a privilege. And yeah, I've done some tyre development for Super 3, which is an unreal car coming from the old old platform, which is it's brilliant to drive.
We were hearing from Max just a minute ago that actually completed the rally quite a few years ago, and they won the Spirit of Gumball in that car.
From LA to New York, or New York to LA, wasn't it, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, in the old platform. So it's exciting to see how this goes. Yeah.
Exciting stuff. So have you been driving today yet?
Yes, I've been in the +6 going up the hill. So the big boy, I suppose, of the pack. It's it's a straight 6 BMW engine. It's putting out just under 400 brake horsepower. Really, it's unbelievable off the line. It's a sort of a wolf in sheep's clothing, if you like. You see that outside exterior with the Morgan, it looks amazing, and you just when it gets to the line, it just takes off. It's great.
So will the crowd get to see you driving up in that car again, or have you got a selection for us today?
There is a selection of Morgan owners here as well. So there's some owners driving their +4s, new +4, and but the +6 would definitely go out with me again.
Oh, okay, good stuff. So for you personally, as a car enthusiast and as a Morgan representative, what would be your number one memory, or how would you associate the brand with Gumball 3000? I
think it's that sort of that race scene, I suppose. I come from a racing side of it, so having the car spec'd up to look smart as well, and we got again some great liveries coming out for the cars as well. So I think with the way they step up and have their liveries, the paint colours and things like that.
They do look really refined. Like we've got two up the front. You talked about the Super 3. The parked up behind the Super 3 is
the +6.
The +6. Tell us a little bit about the +6. Is it got like a lot of wood in it? Is it wood base or something?
Yeah. So basically, they're CX generation cars. So coming away from that sort of ladder chassis with more of the ash chassis on top, the ash frame. We still have ash frame on the car, but now we have an aluminium bonded, riveted chassis, sort of like bring it up to the modern with a adjustable front and rear suspension. So really a modern car.
Without forgetting its roots, really.
Exactly. Yeah, you wouldn't know from looking from the outside, but it looks pure Morgan. And we've got so you'll notice the +6 is a wider car.
Yeah.
So wider bodied with the wider wheels on it, obviously to put the power down and actually be more dynamic. And you've got the +4, which is again the 4 litre straight 4, and it's again great power from the BMW unit in there. Slightly narrower bodied, but again very fast. It's about 255 brake horsepower, so still pushing on a bit. Nice balance for the car. And same on that platform as well. So aluminium bonded chassis, and it's just a great car to drive around. It's very adjustable as well now. So putting it into a race platform as well, which we do, is great. So it makes it more adjustable, which is brilliant.
So you work for Morgan. You're a racing driver, and you live locally. You could say this is your home circuit, right?
It's not actually my home circuit, but I do race cars for Morgan. We prep 2 CX platform +4s, and we launched them at the Race Remembrance last year with Mission Motorsport. So the factory have got a great link with Mission Motorsport. We have an auto and a manual, and the auto was for the beneficiaries. So we had a hand control car, which the auto allowed that to happen. And we had the beneficiary driving the cars, amputees driving the cars for 12 hours over that race weekend, and it was unbelievable.
So how did you get to where you are now with Morgan? Like you as Andy touched on, you were a racing driver. What sort of racing did you do?
So I'm still a current driver.
Okay.
So I come from Formula 3, single-seater background.
Okay.
Introduced with to Morgan about 6 years ago, 7 years ago now, through the University of Wolverhampton. We prep and use engineers and train engineers into the factory. The factory have been great with bringing young engineers into production and design as well now. So that link has been great, and that sort of built that link with Morgan. And it's gone strength to strength really. So for me to be able to drive and develop the cars as we go, and racing always adds that extra element of mileage to it. You sort of strain the cars a bit harder as well and push the cars, and so it really works well, and the factory can feed off any parts we can design and build as well.
Who better to race the car than someone that knows the car well, right?
Exactly, yeah, I'd say that all day long.
And how did you get into racing? Like, did you start in karting? What age was it? And like, tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, started 8 years old karting, and really sort of wanted to push that single route for me, and luckily I've stayed in the racing scene for about 20 years in cars now, so a long time, winning a couple of Formula 3 championships and racing a Praga Cup car this year as well. So
really?
So a lot going on, and we kick off at Cadwell Park with the Morgans next weekend, and we're off to Spa with the Plus 4s as well. So again, we're proving the cars all day long with and just seeing what we can get out of the cars. And again, Spa will be a good teller for the car.
It's a tough question, but what is your favourite Morgan to race in?
Well, we haven't got the Plus 6 race car yet. We've got the Plus 4, which is again that balance with the 4 litre. The Plus 4, the 4-cylinder is always a nice balance to get into the class as well. Once you get bigger car, you can look into a bit more endurance racing. So the sprint car, definitely the Plus 4 is good fun. It moves around a lot as well. When we did the 12-hour, it just lasted the whole 12-hour as well, which was great.
Wow.
But you can push the car hard. It's quite tail happy in that situation, which is great. And you get the good feedback from the car as well. So the Plus 4 so far, but I wouldn't mind getting the Super 3 out as a race car, but I'm not sure what we'll qualify in. But yeah.
Well, before we let you go and drive up the hill again, there's a rumour that you're going to set the fastest time today. Is that true?
Looking over at the guys from the factory. Yeah, we'll have a go.
Yes,
That's the spirit.
That's what I'm talking
Fighter
about.
spirit.
Well, thanks very much for
Thanks a
joining
lot.
us at the pod.
And good luck with racing today. And next
Thank
week
you.
you got like a summer packed of racing, right?
Yeah, we're busy now, right for October.
Oh, well, thanks for
Best of
taking
luck
the
with
time
the
out and
season.
chat to us, man.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the pod. Piston Distillery, Tyres by Gumball 3000. We have a very special guest, Andy, ain't we?
We've got royalty here, Martin.
Hold on, royalty?
Yeah, royalty. When I saw that the Queen was coming, I didn't know what to expect.
Oh, snap, yes. We have royalty.
We've got Queen Bee.
Queen Bee in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, put some respect on Queen Bee's name.
Becky.
How are we?
We're very good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I always think that when everyone's like, oh, the Queen's coming, I'm like, oh, Christ, here we go again. You know when you make an email account when you're about 16, 17?
Don't worry,
years
we
old?
have dodgy DJ names and
Yeah,
we can't get rid of them.
So you know exactly what it's like then. So
You're too far gone now. You can't go
I'm
back.
so far in, I can't get out. So it's like, okay, fine, we're Queen Bee.
You rock it. You rock it.
Gotta be.
Own it.
Do you have any beef with like the Beyonce fans because you're Queen Bee?
Babes, I'm so ready. As soon as she comes for that like handle on Instagram, I'm like, here's a blank check. I'll write my number on it, have it, and I've got Becky Evans already in the background, so I'm ready for her.
We're not here to talk about Beyonce though.
No, we're not. So for people who don't know who you are, what do you do?
So I'm a presenter, content creator, always around cars, bikes, drifting, that type of thing.
She's an all-round bad girl YouTuber in the car world, right? That's right.
I mean, yes. I'm always like, I should back myself more, but yeah, definitely. Everything cars.
The quote
bike.
I received was, "She's the baddest drifter." That's what I got told.
God, who told you that?
In a good way, obviously,
Yeah.
just with a bit of an accent.
I was
you know
like,
what I mean?
is that like the baddest? As
No,
in,
as
like,
in
good?
great.
Okay.
As in good. This is someone who's cool as well. So like,
Perfect. I'll go with that. I'll run with it.
Tell us about your drifting and your racing and that. Like,
Yeah, so the drifting started when I started working with Red Bull. So I met Red Bull when I was working at Goodwood, and they gave me an opportunity. I've grown up with go-karting, and then I did drag racing, and then they were like, okay, we're looking at accessible motorsports, and they were like, what type of thing would you like to do? And I was like, I've always wanted to have a go at drifting. So then Drift Queen was born, and it was a series that I did with them where I sort of went from a nobody knowing nothing to building a car, going to Japan, going to America, finding out all about this sport, and yeah, building the S15 to where it is today and competing in my first competition. So it was like a
so did you take to it like a duck to water, or was it a hard slog?
not gonna lie, it's a difficult motorsport because you have to kind of unlearn everything that you've learned. So if you're a grip racer, you're basically asking the car to break traction. You're trying to control a car that's out of control. So it was strange to begin with, but then once you get the whole concept of oversteer and how to control it, it's super, super fun. I mean, everybody loves it when a car goes sideways. Every single car person wants to do a donut, wants to get a little bit sideways, get a bit squiggly. And then we've just taken that whole thing and created a sport around it. It's great fun.
So, I mean, in my head, when you're learning to do this, there has to be some incredible crashes and moments where you feel completely out of control. Does that happen?
100%. You have to be okay with crashing. Like, when I had my first 50 mile an hour smash, I was like, whoa, okay, that's what that feels like.
It sounds terrifying.
Well, it kind of is, but at the same time, if you're not crashing, you're not trying hard enough. Like, your first, second, third gear, you're doing 60 miles an hour and you're literally taking a leap of faith, being like, right, I'm going to pull the handbrake, I'm going to put a little bit of opposite lock in there, I'm going to keep my foot in and then see what happens. And if you end up upside down, nah, fine. Like, I've always had really supportive people around me, and like, you talk to any of the lads, the first thing they said to me, they were like, stop crying, man up, because if you're not crashing, you ain't trying hard enough. So
I love that.
Crack on, you know. Like, I had to learn quick. Like, my partner's a drifter as well, and he's like, I've had crashes at 100 miles an hour, so
wow.
Please just relax, this is nothing.
So you touched on it earlier, but like, your love for BMW, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, BMW has always had a big part of my life. Obviously, my first classic was a 1983 E21. That was my first sort of modified car that I took to shows, that type of stuff. And then I've had F80 M3. I've now got an E92 M3. But I'm just a German car girl. Like,
really?
Yeah. BMW,
you like pushing the German whip, yeah?
Full on. Yeah, always. It was just where I was meant to be. That's how I ended up with the Porsche. That was a car that was the poster car for me. And yeah, that's where we've got to today.
Exciting stuff. So, you have a Gumball cap on, which I'm very jealous of. It's my favourite one, and I don't have mine anymore. So I'm looking to maybe steal that at the end of the day.
No, so yeah, it's a very
Does that have
cap.
Sentimental value to you?
This has sentimental value to me because this was from 2017, maybe?
Yes.
Was it so 2017, I just started my channel. I had no idea what I was doing. I was really stressed out, still working in London, and I got the Gumball. It was a party, wasn't it, in London? They went through the streets of London. Yeah, in Tape.
Yeah.
So it was like the first gig that I was invited to as a YouTuber, and I was like, oh my God.
Oh, that's lovely.
I've made it. Do you know what I mean? Like, but it was such a big deal to me because I'd never gone to a thing as this new person, which was Queen Bee, this YouTuber, this, that, and the other. And I just remember I'd worked the next day. I went to the after party at Tape. I got out at like 5 o'clock in the morning, went home, slept for 2 hours, woke up, and I was like, oh my God, so worth it. Like, and I kept, this hat is literally the thing that I kept from that. It was like a big moment in my career because not long after that, I quit my job and just went full time into it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That was 2016. So you've done like crazy well in that time.
Yeah, it's been a journey. I think it's always a case of taking any opportunity and just kind of running with it. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen, really? You'll fail, but at least you give it a go. And it was always that way. Like, I started YouTube, and then Red Bull picked me up, and then they were like, okay, how do you feel about live presenting? I was like, okay, I'll give it a go, I'll do that. And then it just went bang, 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 like a ping pong. Like, work hard, be nice to people, and give it your best shot. And
if your passion is genuine, which it clearly is, it shines through.
Well, it's easy to talk about something that you know implicitly, do you know? Like, for me, cars is a language, and it's also a community. So you might not, I don't know much about Morgans, but I could chat next to a guy who's got a Morgan, and we could bounce off each other, and we'd be like, okay, that's cool, yeah, okay, how does it drive? What's the gearing like? What's this? But you know, you're bouncing off people. And if you can convert that into presenting, what you're doing is essentially having the crack, chatting to people, getting to go to racing events, and having a beer at the end of it, like it's sound.
Lovely stuff.
How did you find going from the automotive world to being in YouTube and having to do it all yourself? How was your YouTube journey for you?
Painful. Like,
really?
It's hard to.
Is there any advice you'd give to people?
I would just say, make the content that you want to make. Don't worry about anybody else. I'd always say keep your blinkers on. Always keep your eye on the prize, which is you have to chase what you want to do. And yeah, just you have to work hard. Like, it's constantly innovating, constantly finding new content, constantly figuring out new ways to edit this, that, and the other. Like, I produce, edit, film, everything myself, and have done since day one.
Really?
So it's just a case of, and also learn how to do everything yourself. When I first started, I was relying on other people to help me film. I was relying on other people to help me edit, and I was like, this is slowing me down. So like, I just sat down one day and just started bashing keys. I was like, right, how do we do this? And just learn. And that just sped up my process so much. It makes your profit margins way higher with things, and you can just get stuff done.
Good stuff. Well, you've got a very, very impressive career, which we've touched on. But I think the most impressive thing that we've talked about today is you actually stayed at a club where Martin was DJing for 5 hours, and I'm speechless, to be honest.
I don't remember. I'll be honest. All I remember, I think, did Eve come on?
Eve did come on.
That's what I was waiting for. That's like, she's original, like, Rough Riders. Like, she's a queen herself, and I was like, I'm just here for this. Like, all I want to see is Eve. Like,
did you get the Queen snap, Eve and Queen Bee?
No, I didn't. I was too shy. I was never going to go up to her and be like, oh, can I have a bitch, please? I was just like, I can appreciate her from afar. She's wicked. This is a moment. I've just seen Eve. I'm at a Gumball party. You know, when you drink it all in, and you're like, this is a moment. And that's why I kept the hat, because now I look at that and I remember coming home with it on my head and like drunk as anything. And I was like, this is great.
I love the mutual love, because both of you guys, Eve is a rapper in a very male-dominated industry, and you are a automotive expert in a male-dominated industry. How are you finding it? And is there any like advice you give to fellow females? Like, what would you suggest? How hard was it for you coming up?
At the end of the day, if you love what you're doing, you're going to sort of ignore what anybody says anyway. I think if you've got true passion for something, like, you're not going to let anything get in your way. Like, I've grown up around cars. I've always driven cars. It's like another language to me. You know, my dad was big into it. I didn't know any other way to go. I just thought, how can I turn this into a career for myself and have fun whilst I'm doing it? And that's just the way I've gone with it. And yeah, of course, like, you face all sorts of different things along the way. But at the end of the day, like, if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Of course.
So you just got to crack on.
Love that. If it's easy, everybody would do it. Say that again so the people in the back can hear you.
Will we see you racing today?
Yeah, no, I've already been up the hill once. I just took the turbo up there. First of all, I forgot to put my GoPro on because I was so nervous. I've never driven it before. And always you want to get get your bearings, do a little sighting lap, all the rest of it. But you obviously get really excited. The car was great. I mean, it's a big single turbo Porsche 911. I mean, those things you have to wait till they spool up and then they go. And I was in second gear, and I was like, surely this has got more to it, but you don't realise the incline, you know?
Okay.
But it was cool. Car sounded great. It was good fun. Next time I'll turn my GoPro on. It should be all right.
Well, we'll be looking forward to seeing the footage when it comes online.
Before you go, you mentioned that you have quite a jam-packed summer.
Yeah, it's going to be busy.
Tell us a little bit about it before you go. And if there's anything you want to plug or tell the people at home about, just let us know.
So this summer, I'm back working with Red Bull. We're going to be doing 6 rounds of competition across Europe. So it'll be Red Bull Drift Masters, which is like jam-packed. It's like 57 drivers from 27 nations all coming to fight it out on the track.
Really?
Yeah, it's savage, which will be really good fun. We've got Goodwood, we've got all different things like that. Obviously, we'll be taking the 930 on some trips. I'm building my E92 road car to be like a semi-road legal drift car, which will be good fun as well. There's just lots of content, lots of fun, lots of adventures. I'm excited for it.
Semi-road legal.
Yeah, you're just trying to skate around that.
Look at him trying to pick up on that. I'd skate faster.
Absolutely sending me
Are
under.
there any police here, please?
Where can people catch you? Like, what's your handles? Where's your socials at, and YouTube? Tell them.
So obviously my name is Becky Evans. You'll find me on YouTube as Becky Evans, but on Instagram it's Queen Bee.
Queen Bee.
Just Queen Bee. Queen and a bee.
Until you get that check.
Until I get the check.
Thank you for taking the time out and joining us, Becky.
No bother. Thank you for having me.
Take care.
We'll be back with some more interviews right here at the pod with the Piston Distillery, times by Gumball 3000 later on this afternoon. Who we got coming up, Andy?
Oh, we got jam-packed schedules. We got
Jam-packed.
MrJWW and Shmeet.
Oh, looking forward to seeing those two legends.
We got a couple more automotive companies and a few special guests, I believe. So
looking forward to it. Thanks, Becky.
No bother.
Welcome back to the pod. I am Andy Purnell, this is Martin2Smoove, and we are joined by someone who has brought the spirit of Batman to the Gumball 3000 warm-up. Thomas, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
Thomas is joining us here from McMurtry. How are you?
Yeah, very
You good? Everything good? You showed us one of your beautiful cars. The Spearless, right? Spearling.
Good man, you got it.
Like Andy said, it did look like the Batmobile.
Yes, thank you. We do get that quite a lot now, actually, in fact. But it wasn't really the design intention to make it look like the Batmobile, but yeah, it really does.
Well, we had a brief conversation about this car earlier, and it sounds to me like, above all else, the priority on this car was performance, right?
100%. Yeah, it is a properly fast car.
So to give us a little bit of background, why has this car been made, and what sets it apart from all of the other race cars that are out there?
So I guess the honest answer to why is this car being made is more of a why not, because there's this with the move to electric cars, there's this awesome opportunity to make something that's just truly different, and within the racing and motorsport space, it's normally quite conservative. The sort of race cars that get produced are often fairly similar to the generation before, but with this move to electric cars, there was this opportunity to create something that's really, really different. And so we've pushed to create, as you know, this electric track car that is based on 1960s proportions. So it's properly compact. It's 1.5 meters wide, only 3.3 meters long, and it uses this band technology from the 1970s. So it delivers a huge amount of its downforce from basically producing a vacuum underneath it. So it's effectively a 200 mile an hour vacuum cleaner.
It's great. Yeah, you have described it as a vacuum, but it definitely doesn't look like a vacuum. It is.
I would buy one if it did.
Yeah, we could just program it to go around your kitchen.
It is a beautiful car, and you guys are planning to actually release it for road use, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing to get really excited about, I guess, because it's 100% ULEZ compliant.
So we can drive it around in London. Me and Andy could turn up to a gig in it.
I don't know if we can afford it, Smoove. I think that might be an issue.
We can wish.
We'll do a special deal, don't you worry.
But yes, it's all congestion friendly and everything, right?
100%. Yeah, it's so fully electric, no emissions, but. I guess when you run the fan systems, it does lift quite a lot off the road surface. So it does you. I mean, in theory, I guess the London Council will be very happy for us to run the car in London anyway. So we can go around, clean the roads, and make a lot of noise and get a lot of excitement, and then you can drive all the way to Silverstone, Brands Hatch, wherever you want to go, and you'll be lapping the circuit faster than anyone there. I can guarantee it.
I'm sure you touched on the noise. Now, a lot of classic and die-hard petrol heads don't like the fact that electric cars are quiet and they don't have that same noise. But I've been assured that you have the loudest car that's here today. Is that correct?
Yes, and I wish we could share it today, but we'll have to save that for Goodwood in a few weeks' time. But yes, it is. It sounds like a jet fighter.
Wow.
So when we were doing the trials of the original generation of the vacuum system in an ambulance a few years ago, the track thought we were effectively testing a jet engine in the back of our ambulance, and that's what we were actually doing. But in fact, obviously, that wasn't the case at all. We were effectively trying to create an ambulance that works like a limpet and sucks itself down to a track around Thruxton. So. Yeah.
So who chose the ambulance? Why an ambulance?
It's quite a funny story, I guess. But
were you drunk at the time?
No, I mean it was quite topical as well, because it was around COVID time, so we were thinking like this would be a really good way to promote NHS and all the rest of it.
And you'd get patients to the hospital in the quickest possible time.
Yeah. But I mean, so the thought process was, so the vacuum system generates downforce that you measure in tons, right? So you need a vehicle that is load rated to quite a high load. An ambulances, they're rated to like 5 tons. So there's a bit of margin there to be able to gut all the original kit that's in the van and then add a load of downforce, and the suspension doesn't collapse, which is useful. But also in the back of a van, there's a huge amount of space, so you can develop and you can create new engineering. You haven't got to worry about making it all miniature like it is in the current car.
Sure.
And finally, if you want, what's the fastest van you can buy? It's just an ambulance.
Yeah.
Like they've got the biggest engines. They're all mapped to give you like maximum power. So yeah, and we just wanted to get as close as we possibly could to something that replicated the speed that we'd have on a track.
So
These guys know what they're doing.
They do, don't they? They're cleaning the streets of London. they're cleaning your front room, and they're saving lives.
Yeah, I mean, genuinely, it'd be so cool if we got the ambulance and we were doing runs around London. I mean, it'd be amazing. We could clean the streets. We could drop off all the patients that need dropping off to the various hospitals. Clean the streets as we go.
Plus, if it's as loud as you say, it doesn't need a siren.
Very true, very true. And everyone would be like, "Whoa, it's a plane!"
They'll be by the sounds of it, they'll be cowering by the side of the road.
Yes.
I want to ask like a slightly more technical question. Like, what sort of brake horsepower are we looking at for these bad boys?
So it is packing. I mean, it's we quote it as 1,000 horsepower per ton, and it weighs just south of a ton. So we're close to 1,000 horsepower.
Wow. Really? So with that, as it's electric, what's the torque like? Can you said like from 0 to 200, is it 9 seconds? Did you say?
So 0 to 186 miles an hour in under 9 seconds. Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Oh my gosh.
But I have to emphasise that the car isn't actually about acceleration. It is really, really fast, but it's actually about enjoyment, going really fast around a track, fast around corners, braking incredibly hard. The fact that it's incredibly quick acceleratively is almost a byproduct of just trying to make a great track car.
Or when you buy one for the streets, and if you're really late for a meeting, you can just make it on time.
Oh, you're going to be there.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just drive up the side of the building, and then you can just park it on, leave the fan on, park it on the side of the building, walk straight into your meeting through the window. I mean, your job done.
So I had the honour to actually get into one of these cars earlier. You let me sit inside. It actually felt like a cockpit. It was amazing. The steering wheel was like something out of like Knight Rider.
When I watched this, it wasn't the most elegant of entries.
You were jealous. He was jealous. But thank you, Thomas. It looked amazing, and it actually, for even though it's a one-seater and it looked quite compact inside, it felt spacious and it was sick.
Thank you. Yeah. So when we started the project, I mean, we are big fans of single seaters. There's no two ways about it. It was always going to be a single seater.
Are you anti-social people? You just don't want you don't want to take your wives with you.
Yeah. But like some things are best not shared, right? You just want to enjoy it. The car is going to be best if you're not carrying passengers. So just leave them at home. Yeah. Don't put seats in them. Just forget about the passengers. Just enjoy the experience yourself. So we love single seaters, but actually, if you like us love single seaters, there's very little that normal people can actually fit in. All the historic cars are generally designed for when people were smaller, and even sort of Formula One cars, the sort of the tallest of Formula One drivers are not very large, and if you're very lucky if you can get one of those cars. So yeah, we felt what's important is to make this car accessible to all sizes of people. So actually, it will fit up to a 6'7" person.
Yeah.
But yeah, exciting times.
So what is like the evolution? What we got planned for?
So most of the next step is exactly as you described. It's about getting this ludicrous ULEZ compliant piece of machinery on the road, so that people can be whooshing the fans in the centre of London, driving ludicrously fast round racetracks, doing a Gumball event eventually.
Oh
I mean, as long as they put the correct charging infrastructure en route, we're all game.
How many hours and can it go with one charge?
So it'll actually be really good because it's such a small car and it's got a big battery, and it should be good for circa 350 mile range.
That's amazing.
Which I mean it's as good as any Tesla.
That's amazing.
It's a proper car.
And the best thing about it, it's a one-seater. I wouldn't have to take Andy with me on the gigs.
Oh, come on.
No, you could race in there. I mean, that's the fun of it, right?
But it's such a sexy car. You get a lot of attention from the females, or if you're a female driver, from the guys.
Yeah, quite.
But you won't be able to invite them in.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think there's a required level of intimacy that you achieve before you invite them into the car. There's clearly it's going to require a level of social interaction that's perhaps beyond like a first glance.
Well, we're quite comfortable. We could sell that.
That's definitely not happening. So we're here in this race day, and is there any cars in the paddock, for example, today that has taken your fancy?
So Mike O'Connell, a friend of mine, he's actually the reason that we're here today. He kind of gave us the introduction to Gumball. He's brought a funny car that's got a motorcycle engine in it, and it is properly quick. It's
Really?
properly light, and
Rapid.
it's even smaller than our car. So that car has my heart. Absolutely, it's an amazing little thing. And I mean, don't get me wrong. We're developing this awesome electric car, but I love petrol through and through. My background is getting every last sort of 0.1% of horsepower out of Formula One engines. The idea of screaming engines running up hill climbs like this to me is so exciting.
Oh, well, we won't keep you from it any longer. Thanks very much for coming to talk to us.
Before you go though, so the Spieling is coming out soon for us to, and it's available for anyone to buy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do we go about doing it?
So we'll announce proper details about that very soon. It will be announced in the general media, and you'll see it all very soon.
We look forward to it, man.
Well, nice one. Thanks very much for chatting with us, Thomas, and enjoy the rest of the day.
And we'll be back right here in the pod real soon with some more guests. Who have we got coming up, Andy?
We got Shmee coming up. We got MrJWW, and we have some more car experts. If you really want to get
Enthusiasts.
technical.
And until then, we're going to enjoy our cocktail courtesy of Piston Gin.
Thank you,
Well,
Piston.
cheers to that, Thomas.
Cheers.
Thank
Chin
you.
chin.
Cheers,
Chin,
guys.
chin.
You know what time it is. We are back in the sunshine, in the pod, with the Piston Distillery and Gumball 3000. I am Martin2Smoove, and you are...
I am Andy Purnell. We are joined by Ben from the Little Car Company. How are you, Ben?
Afternoon, champs. Yeah, very good. Very
Yeah,
good.
it's great to have you on, Ben.
Lovely to be here in this beautiful sunny day.
Sipping a cocktail. This cocktail is actually called the Jerry Hallowell. It is a spicy ginger gin cocktail. What are you thinking? Feeling it?
That's lovely.
He loves it.
Smooth like Jerry.
It's got Ben's seal of approval. So, Ben, tell us a little bit about the Little Car Company.
Yeah, so we're a small, well, not so small anymore, UK company. We make Bugatti Baby 2, make Aston Martin DB5 Juniors, and we make Ferrari Testarossa J's for the original manufacturers.
Really?
Yeah.
So we have one of your beautiful cars on stage with us right now.
That was the first bit. That was Genesis. That was our first project. We announced it 2019 at the Geneva Motor Show. We had this like 3D printed model on the stage, which got destroyed about 5 times, glued together every night. And yeah, we did a deal with Bugatti. It's an official Bugatti. We're only making 500 of those. And yeah, it's a little electric car.
Electric as well?
Yeah, fully electric.
Wow.
So it's back. The story goes back in about 1926, 27, 28. Tuari Bugatti was made a half-scale Bugatti Type 35 for his son, and it was called the Bugatti Baby. And Bugatti came back for their 110th birthday and said, "Hey, could you guys help us make a follow-up?" So we made it 75% scale, big enough for adults to drive. It'll do well. We've had one up to 50 mile an hour in testing, and yeah,
Really?
it's a whole lot of fun.
Well, I was going to say, I thought it might have been a difficult conversation or a hard slog to try and partner with these brands, but it sounds like they're coming to you.
They've been brilliant. They've been absolutely brilliant. Like Bugatti, they helped us from day one. You see the macaron, the sort of badge on the front of the Bugatti, solid silver, identical to what you get on the Chiron.
I couldn't even hear your answer there with these engines in the background. They should be having more electric cars out here. Repeat that.
So on a Bugatti Chiron, the only thing they don't lightweight is the badge on the front of it. They call it the macaron.
Yeah.
And it's made of solid silver. So that one there is identical to the one you get on your Chiron.
Oh, serious?
It's got a speaky like a Chiron. It's got, same paint as a Chiron. You name it, it's like a Chiron.
Literally the Bugatti seal of approval.
Exactly, exactly.
So are we going to be seeing some of your cars going up the hill climb today?
Yeah, so we brought Baby 2, Bugatti Baby 2. We've also got a Ferrari Testarossa J.
Wow.
We've done a couple of runs up the hill in it. I'll be honest, it's not the fastest car there because it's only got like 15 horsepower.
Sure.
But no, it's a whole lot of fun. And that one is, Ferrari led us into their archives and we scanned the original drawings from 1957, recreated all in 3D with modern materials. And so the chassis is the same, the body's the same, the handling's the same. It's just 75% scale.
So a car enthusiast engineer would literally die for the opportunity to look at those kind of blueprints and to be able to do that job. That's pretty special.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It feels like going to work just feels like a holiday every day. It's brilliant. We get to work with these amazing brands, these amazing companies, and they just give us free rein, and it's brilliant.
Ben, you clearly love your job. So what inspired you to even get into doing this?
Well, originally Bugatti approached me to say, look, we want to do something for the birthday. We want to bring back the Bugatti baby. I think they twigged that, they want to engage the next generation of owners. I had a little Porsche 911 toy when I was a kid, and I was 7 years old, but that meant that I always wanted a Porsche 911 one day.
Yeah.
So they want to do the same with the baby. So they sort of said to us, can you do it? And we went, probably. Came up with it, designed it, and we, again, the other thing we did is we could have just had it cheaply made in China, bang out 500, disappear off to the Maldives with a suitcase full of money, which is probably the better idea. But we know we ended up building a company. We went way beyond what they expected.
Wow.
And the moment that Aston Martin, Ferrari, our future partners kind of saw what we did, they were like, yeah, we're in. Let's do it.
That's fantastic. So you touched on some very big names there. You've got an exciting future.
Yeah, we've got some. So far, we've made about 150 Bugatti babies, and they're piling out the factory at Bicester 5 a week. We've got the Ferrari Testarossa J and the Aston Martin are going into production next month.
Wow.
We've partnered up with Eon Productions who do the Bond films.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for the latest Bond film, we stuffed all the gadgets from the Bond car into an Aston Martin.
Amazing.
No way.
It's got the headlights drop, miniguns come out, it's got a smoke machine, it's got a donut mode.
Wow.
It's got little gadget switches. So got that. Then we're doing do you remember the old Tamiya radio control cars?
Yes, I do.
We're, rather than trying to take a big car, make it smaller, we're taking one of those, making it full size, road legal, all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And that's coming out the end of this year, early next year.
So I could buy the James Bond car.
Yeah.
That is special.
We're doing 125, and that will be it.
It's my birthday coming up, Smoothie.
You wish, Andy. You wish. My pockets aren't that deep. But is there like a long waiting list, or if someone's watching right now and they want to know more about it or buy one, what do they have to do?
Yeah, we've got a bit of a waiting list for all the cars at the moment. Like if you wanted a Ferrari, it would probably be mid next year before we can get you one. But yeah, I'd say go to the website littlecar.co. Come and give us a bell. Come and see us at Bicester. We love having people into the factory and just showing them around. And
really,
you see the cars being built and all the development vehicles. Yeah.
Well, I'll definitely take you up on that. You're based in Bristol.
Bicester Heritage, where the scramble is.
Yeah. And how many of you guys are there in the little car company?
Sorry, how many?
How many people are working on it?
Well, we went into lockdown 2 years ago with 9 people. A year ago we were 30. We're now 60.
Wow.
So we're like doubling.
So they're not
every
so
year.
little car company.
No, we changed a bit, and it's going to get much bigger because we've got more products coming along. We've got some brilliant, amazing future stuff coming up.
Is there anything you could tell us? Give us some exclusives.
Oh, a super secret squirrel. at the moment.
We'll turn the
We
mics
won't
off.
tell no one. We won't
Super
tell no one.
squirrel.
He's not trustworthy. That's a good idea.
That's why we gave him the cocktail. We thought we might spill the beans, but Ben's an art professional.
I'm not sure about that. My team will tell you very different.
Oh,
but
really?
we have a lot of fun.
We're going to be chatting to these guys afterwards to get the real truth.
Is there anything you want to shout out apart from the website? Any Instagram, YouTube, or anything like that?
Probably. They look at me going, yeah, you should probably do that. But no, we love what we do. We're having a lot of fun. Come and see our cars. Come and say hello. Come and have a look around. Come sit in it. Take some photos.
Do you know what, Ben? There's a saying that if you love what you do, you never have to work a day in your life. And I get that vibe from you, my man.
Definitely.
Thank you for coming in and talking to us about the little car company, man. And if there's anything you want to shout about, tell us now and then.
Just come and see us. Come say hello. We love it.
We're going to pop by. You guys seem so friendly.
100%. I'm coming down to Bicester to take you up on that.
Please do. Please do. Come test drive. Come and have some fun.
Brilliant. Good stuff. All right.
Thank you, Ben.
Thanks for coming to see us. We are at the pod all day long. We've got some amazing guests coming up, and we'll see you soon. Cut us off.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, guys.
God damn, it's a beautiful day. We're here in the countryside of Worcestershire in the pod with Piston Distillery and Gumball 3000. I am Martin2Smoove, and you are?
I'm Andy Purnell. We are joined by two of my favourite YouTubers. I checked their channels this morning for the first time, but they're already my favourites. We have Adam and we have Matt. So, guys, how are you this lovely day?
We're very well, very warm. We've both been up the hill as well.
Have you actually? You raced today, yeah?
Oh,
Yeah.
Who won out of you guys? Is it massively competitive between you two?
Well, Matt hadn't been up before. I've been once before.
So you got the advantage, right?
Yeah, I've got the advantage. And I did a run before you as well, so I've done 2 so far.
Yeah, that's my excuse then.
Okay, so you did.
That's my excuse.
Was there a big gap between you guys time-wise?
We don't know. We haven't timed it.
Okay.
Well, this is a competitive day, guys. I want to see times, all right?
They say if you're going to do a competitive run, wear a helmet, and I don't have space in the boot for a helmet. So,
I actually do have a helmet, so
Yeah.
it's about to get competitive.
Oh, it's on.
Yeah.
It's on. We just started.
I was going to review the
today.
GoPro footage and see what time I got. I think it's in the 40 seconds somewhere, but
So what did you drive up in today?
The Maserati Gran Turismo, it's a wide-bodied one, Liberty Walk, so it looks ridiculous. It's horrible to drive.
and I bet you
especially
regretted
uphill
it
on a
in
country
that
road.
paddock.
Yes, I did regret. Yeah, so the actual paddock and the parking, it only just fits between the 2 posts each there, but it looks good. It just drives terrible.
Okay.
This is the whole point of it.
How about yourself? What did you drive up in?
I'm in my fake Cobra. So it's a Cobra replica built by Dax, which is a British company, and it's got a Chevy V8, about 350 horsepower, doesn't weigh too much. But that's my kind of flagship car. So it's good to smoke the tyres on the way up. So.
Was that you causing a ruckus up there then?
Oh, the pops and bang outside the blue and white one.
We were
yeah.
trying to have some interviews and it was just going all off.
It was me. It's for the crowds. There's a crowd of people. They want to see.
No, they were
hear
loving
the
it.
cars. So yeah, no, it was fantastic, and it's running all right. It's had a few hiccups recently, but it's got me up there.
Oh, great. So have you guys been involved with Gumball 3000 in the past, or is this your first Gumball event?
I've not.
Yeah.
This is completely the first time ever. But
And
I
you're
know
rocking
the
a
name.
beanie as well. Which
Oh yeah, of course. You've got to represent. So
Yeah.
I seen it,
Cool,
and then I thought,
actually.
well, I'm gonna go rep with the green combat trousers. So I thought the green beanie to match and top that off nicely. I thought, yeah.
I did notice you over there, and I thought, who is that swaggy guy?
That was his exact words, actually. I could
That's
confirm
it.
that.
That's it. You've got to do it. You've got
So
to
you
do
guys
it.
are huge in the YouTube world when it comes to like the automotive world, man. Like, how did you guys get there? Like, what you obviously must have been a big car petrol head from being young, man. What
You have to
what
be,
started
don't
that? Pardon?
You have to be, don't you? From
Yeah.
a young age, you have to be into it. Otherwise, it's a chore, not a hobby.
Yeah.
Like for me, I always called it a lucrative hobby because we do get like paid through like advertisements
Yeah.
and sponsorships. But I used to do it with a full-time job as well because I just love cars and I love photography, filming cars, and I've been doing this maybe coming up to 10 years now properly. But now I've been doing it full-time for about 2 years. But I think Matt's had a similar full-time length.
It's been like you have to be obsessed, and I think it's like a passion-driven thing.
Yeah.
And people enjoy watching people with passion. It doesn't necessarily have to be the car you're filming on. If you feel passionate about it, the best example that I tell people is Francis Bourgois. He films on trains, so he's a train spotter.
People say I'm him, but in the car world.
Yeah, so he loves trains, and not everyone in the world loves trains. Not everyone's into trains, but because he's so passionate about it, people love it. And I feel that's the same way with like us with cars. People, it doesn't matter what car we film on, but because they see the passion and what we do, that's why people view it and they enjoy it, because they see we're so into it. But people can tell when you're just doing something for like views or money or that sort of stuff. It doesn't work. You've got to be passionate about it for it to work in that sort of industry for 100%. But
how long have you been doing it for?
So for me, like YouTube wise, it was about 3 years, and it sort of built up so fast for me. In
3 years?
Yeah, like COVID was like a
blessing.
A blessing for me, yeah.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, put some respect on Matt's name.
Something good from COVID. We'll take that every time.
I got made redundant.
Same.
I know. That's it. So did I.
You turned the L into a W.
That's it. So I sit there, and you're at home, and I'm thinking, well, what? I was having a bit of doing YouTube and stuff, and I was earning a bit of revenue. I thought, well, this is the chance to just go at it full pelt, and I went for it. So I rebuild crash damaged cars and stuff, so that's what I do, and then modify them and stuff. So it was sort of one thing that picked up, and of course everyone's at home during COVID. Everyone's sitting at home. A lot of people were watching YouTube, so reviews were really high, and I was just sort of worried that when people go back to work, would it stay the same? And it did, and it just carried on growing, and it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me. So completely changed everything that I do.
Sick.
So
probably not the best thing for your neighbours.
No.
I should imagine you've had a lot of complaints since lockdown started.
Yeah, we have moved since that. Yeah.
You were driven out.
That was it. Yeah. The neighbours watched all the videos and they loved it, but they didn't love the crash damaged cars being dropped off on the driveway. So that was the bad side of things.
For anyone that's watching at home and that's new to you guys, I want you both to answer this. Like, what is that one video that you've done that really you would co-sign and say, look, that represents me the most?
I'll let you go because I can't think of one.
So I did a video. People sort of can't get their head around YouTube and how you earn money and things like that. And a lot of questions I get asked in the comment section is, oh, how does he earn his money? What does he do as a full-time job? This, that, and the other. So I did a specific video, which was sort of like, I bought 4 houses and 5 cars and quit my job. But it was literally like a clickable title sort of thing, and it's exactly what I did. But the whole video, I sort of showed my story of how I became to like basically fall upon being a YouTuber through my. I don't have any like GCSEs or qualifications or that sort of stuff. I didn't go to college. I don't have anything like that. So really written out for me, I shouldn't really be successful or anything like that. But my plan was to just save as much money as I can, work as hard as I can, and I was going to just buy properties, and that was going to be my way out of the sort of 9 till 5 job. That's what I was going to do. And so I carried on doing that, but actually buying the properties allowed me to have disposable income to push it into my YouTube channel, which created my YouTube channel and go higher and find something I actually love doing. And then now that's became my main income, and that's the video that's sort of, that's me. If you're going to watch a video and you want to find out about me, that is the video. So,
well, you've sold me. I'm going to watch.
Yeah, what a motivational video, man.
I think I've seen.
We need to get you a drink for that, man. There's a couple of drinks.
You go grab them and Smoove and bring them
I'll
over.
go grab them. Like, I actually know that this pod is brought to you by the Piston Distillery and Gumball 3000. We can't have you guys here without a cocktail. You know what I mean?
Dry mouth. Yeah, we can have one.
So Adam, what video would you say most represents you?
So I pretty much just film car shows, so today is my day.
We're in your domain.
Thank you. But in lockdown, we go back to COVID again, that dreaded topic, but during lockdown there were no car shows.
Of course.
So when we were allowed to go out and see friends and do a limited amount of things, I made what I call the drive-by car show.
Okay.
And what it is I basically stood on the side of a road that I knew to have good traffic, like nice cars, a nice area,
sure.
On the roundabouts. So I've did a few actually, but there's one near me in like the Hampshire and Surrey area down in the south, and I called it the drive-by car show. I announced where I was going to be, and if you want to get your car featured in my video, just drive past. So it's all socially distanced and everything like that. And I got hundreds of people drive past. People even stood in the area, and at its peak I think I had about 300 people stood on the side of a random roundabout with
Wow.
me,
Jesus.
watching this
Wow.
happening, and then hundreds of cars just driving around the area.
That's special.
And-
Cheers you to that.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, cheers to
So
that
I
one.
made my own shows out of when we weren't allowed to do car shows, and those videos did incredibly. That was kind of almost, I don't want to say where I peaked, but that was my lockdown surge, and I'm proud of that. I since don't need to do that because we have proper shows on.
Yeah.
Great.
And I think I got away with quite a lot. I never got into trouble with it, with the amount of crowd and traffic that was created. So I did one in the Peak District, I did one in Cheddar Gorge, I did
Oh, wow.
a few round areas, place I knew that nice cars would be naturally, so if no one turned up there would still be something, but that's what I'm most proud in myself, I think.
It's pretty sick. You
Yeah.
roll with the
Yeah, that
punches.
is
man.
It's
Like-
unique.
Yeah, because most people would have been like, oh, you can look at my old footage, there's not really much to film at the moment. You kind of just
Yeah.
roll with the punches and adapted, really.
Yeah, I mean, I made a few compilations and they did well over lockdown of old footage because I've got
Yeah.
so much that I've filmed in the certain years. But I tend to let the cars do the talking rather than like about me having breakfast. And, and unlike Matt, I'm lazy. I hate working on my cars because everything I do goes wrong. So I don't do a lot of that kind of like. Matt's one of the hardest working YouTubers out there. I just go to car shows and have a jolly.
Said with a cocktail in your hand.
This is me. Another day in the office.
So did you guys know each other beforehand, or is it just through YouTube that put you together?
We knew each other. I don't think we'd ever met before today.
No.
Oh, today's the first day you met?
Yeah. Well,
There's no
100%.
rivalry, no beef, nothing like that?
No, I don't think it's.
It's all love. It's all love.
Do you know, the way I see it is, so Adam's content is completely different to my content. We film on cars, we both have the same interests, but with YouTube, it's such a sort of tight little industry. I feel just talking to Adam and finding out what works, what doesn't work, can help me, and I can speak to Adam and say what works, what doesn't work for me. That can help him. It doesn't mean because people are watching my videos, they're not going to watch Adam's videos. It's not like that. It's not like a first, second, third race. It's people can help each other out with YouTube, and that's the way I see it. If someone wants to ask advice on how I managed to get so many views on a video, ask it, because if that helps them, then they'll give me advice that I might not know about, and that will help me. And rather than making so many different mistakes, and it's so much easier just to ask someone, and we're not against each other. We don't take money off each other. It's it's just a thing. But I think
what we were saying earlier is like if you'd film a car show video, it wouldn't necessarily do as well as the
100%.
videos that your followers are used to. But if I filmed a video like your videos, that wouldn't get views for me because
100%,
it's what
that's
people
it.
are used to, and they are different enough to show that we are different channels. And,
Well, what the fans want to know is, are you going to do a collaborative video?
Oh,
They do,
yeah, you know what? It's something that completely slipped my mind as well, but definitely something that we need to do.
Yeah.
That's something in the future, right? And is there anything else that you guys have got that you want to shout about that you're about to do?
Well, I want Matt to come to my show.
Oh, really?
Because after the drive-by shows, I'm now finally putting on my own car show, and it's a full. There's going to be thousands of cars. It's rather crudely called Adam C Fest.
We love that.
Yeah,
Creative
it's a
name,
working
I like it.
title. Our mates were just saying, and it's stuck in the end. So on the 3rd of June, it's Bank Holiday Friday for the
3rd of
Queen's
June.
Jubilee.
Okay.
We're going to be up at Wilson Mill. Just off the M1. It's like in the middle of the country, so everyone can attend, and it's going to be my own show, and I'm hoping it goes well, and the weather's nice,
course it
like
will,
today, because it's all kind of, it feels like it's all built up to this. It makes sense. I go to all these shows that I can put on my own one, so I'm hosting it with a Petrol Hedonism Club who put on loads of shows themselves, so they can help me out with the organisation and the hard graft. And I can just kind of promote
3rd of
it,
June.
be the face. Yeah.
So
Adam C.
if
Fest.
people want to get involved in that, how should they go about finding
So
information?
I've got links in most of my videos. It's through the Petrol Hedonism Club. So there's links on most of my channels, Adam C or Adam C 3046, which is a silly long username of mine. But it should be fairly easy to find. Or just type in Adam C Fest. There should be details about it there.
Sounds good.
But I'm looking forward to inviting everyone, spectators, show cars, white Toyota Chasers, everything. I'm looking forward to seeing what turns up. Yeah.
Good
What
stuff.
about yourself, Matt?
Honestly, like, people always ask me what I've got coming up, what's my plan.
What's your next car? That's the one.
I have absolutely no idea what I do, where I'm going. Like, for me, I feel like I'm so far ahead of where I planned to be years ago that I don't know what I'm doing next week. But next car, like I'd love to get a Porsche. I'm like really want to get into the Porsche sort of world, and so I always look for like crash damaged cars that I can rebuild and like learn upon and that sort of stuff. But I have no idea what I'm doing next week.
Martin's a really ropey driver, so you might get a car from him.
Yeah, so if you crash a car, let me know. They're the types of cars.
There's a Nissan Micra coming your way real soon.
Love it.
No, thank you boys for joining us this afternoon. Enjoy your cocktails.
We will. This is fantastic.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And if you want to shout out your YouTubes, your social channels, feel free to do so now.
Well, up to you.
Okay, so I'm looking at both cameras, but you can search Matt Armstrong, spelled with 1 T, but you'll find it with 2, and you can go from there. We make silly videos. So, and now on to Adam.
Mine is, well, I think if you type in Adam C, or one word, it comes up most of the time, but the full username is Adam C3046, which is a Bebo username that I was given as a kid.
Love that.
That's stuck. But yeah, Adam C, and I just film car shows, if you like that kind of thing. If you can't make it to a show, I just have fun and hope that you do watching it.
Brilliant, good stuff. Well, thanks, guys. We will be back here at the pod very shortly with some more guests. But in the meantime, we're looking forward to you guys driving the hill climb.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt and Adam C.
Thank you.
Thank you
guys.
Turbocharged straight 6. You can hear him there spinning his tyres in the warm-up area to get some heat in the tyres before he heads to the start line. Next up, we've got a Mazda MX-5. That will come to the line next. And if we look behind us, we look down this incredible paddock of cars. It really does show the array of what we've got here today, from Porsche Cayman Rs, which is a bespoke Porsche Cayman on slick tyres. We've got a Morgan Plus 4, a historic Morgan. We've got a Corvette C5R. Next up, we'll then have an Alfa Romeo 4C, and the list goes on. It's an incredible list of cars and a range of cars that we have here in the paddock today. If we look back towards the start line, we've got the Mazda MX-5 on the line, just got the green light, and away we go. Next up, we've got this incredible Porsche Cayman. This car is built for hill climbing itself, so it is built to go hill climbing. It runs on slick tyres, and Duncan Andrews, who's driving it, is a very experienced hill climber indeed. So he's on the line now, waiting to get the green light and then engaging his launch control. And then the car behind that is this beautiful British Racing Green Morgan Plus 4 hardtop. Duncan off the line now. A really good start there, taking it steady as he's still learning the hill today. And it's slipperier conditions at the first event of the year. The next car up will be the Morgan Plus 4. Let's walk down the middle of the paddock here. We've got just an incredible range of cars. We've got a Corvette C5 coming to the line. Then we've got the best of the Europeans, if you will, the Alfa 4C with its new lightweight mid-engined 1750cc turbocharged engine. Behind that, we've got Maseratis, we've got Audis, we've got this beautiful McLaren 600 LT Spider, complete with its MSO detailing. Behind that, we've got a Lotus Exige. We really do have an incredible range of cars here at Shelsley Walsh. Heading back to the start line, we've got the Corvette C5 on the line now. This is sort of your best of American muscle, really. We're up to the C8 now. It's gone mid-engine now, but this is probably about 20 years old now, this car, but still the iconic Corvette shape, and we're looking forward to seeing that car head up the hill. After that, we'll have the Alfa 4C. And the cars we're looking at here in the paddock, we've got the stunning 600 LT Spider, and next to it, a classic Morgan. And we've got a lot of Morgans here today. It's brilliant to see such a range of cars here at Shelsley Walsh. So that's a little preview for you guys on YouTube of what we've got going on here today. I hope you like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the pod with Piston Distillery and Gumball 3000, and we have a very, very special guest with us, Smoovie.
He is a legend in the car game, a legend in the YouTube game. He is a Gumball veteran. He really doesn't need any introduction.
Not at all.
You know who he is. They know who he is. My grandparents know who he is. We have, cue the drum roll, Shmee in the building.
How's it going, guys? Good to be here.
Great to have you, man. We were summoned from our lunch to speak to you.
But
And
we said there's only one person that we will drop our lunch for, and that is you.
Well, I'm sorry for making you have to come over.
Mate,
I appreciate it.
we want to talk to you, man. We know you're a busy guy and you've got racing to do. You're racing today, right?
Yeah, of course. Been up the hill. I've got 2 cars here today. My
What cars?
Lamborghini,
Oh,
Huracan
okay.
STO, the bright pink thing.
I saw that.
Which makes a rather nice sound. And then, as I just discovered, I went up in my new Ferrari SF90, which has a mere 1,000 horsepower. And on cold tyres, it likes to be a bit sideways, which was moderately terrifying.
But you kept it together, yeah?
Yeah, thankfully. Thankfully, we're back in one piece. But I definitely know for next time, just to rein it in a little bit.
Well, obviously, we've been doing this podcast based from here all day. Just a little rap on the wrist. Next time you see us here, sat here, just be a little easy on the throttle. Let us continue to talk. It's very loud, your car.
I tell you what, from here, obviously, we've got the cars blasting past us. It's amazing to hear and just be part of it all. What a day, hey?
Oh, it's been fantastic. And you brought the weather with you?
Yeah, it feels like it. I've literally actually come back straight away from a tour. I've been away for the last, basically, month, pretty much, driving
Tell
all
us
around
about
Europe. Well, the main premise was the Ferrari that I just mentioned. I actually collected in Maranello at the Ferrari factory.
Oh, lovely. You went there.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. And since then, I've been to 10 countries and done thousands of miles.
Wow.
But absolutely
In your new
loving
car?
it. In the brand new car. So that car that's just over 3 weeks old has over 3,000 miles on it.
No.
I don't think people do that in Ferraris. Hey, it's a perfect Gumball number,
Yeah,
right? 3,000, done.
Yeah.
Ready for
did
the
you
next
go?
one. Everywhere, up from Italy, through Austria, Germany. We went all the way to Denmark and in Sweden as well. So went to both the Zenvo factory. I've got a Zenvo currently in build. And we also went to visit Koenigsegg, where we went on Gumball back in 2015, I want to say. With a stop there, which is pretty cool.
Talking about Gumball, I mean, how many times have you done the rally now?
6 times.
Wow.
6, yeah.
So 2015 would have been your first time, would it be?
I haven't done every one. So my first ever one I did was 2012. That was New York, LA.
Okay, yeah.
So coast to coast. That was awesome. Then the next year was Copenhagen to Monaco, around the one that went via Russia and across Eastern Europe. Then did 2014 Miami to Ibiza.
Yeah.
2015 Stockholm to Las Vegas. Got to think of them all. 2016 Dublin to Bucharest. Missed 2017. Couldn't do that. 2018 was London to Tokyo. Big one.
That was an epic one.
Yeah, that was amazing, driving in Japan with all of the cars. Then 2019, I just went down to the start in Athens and Mykonos.
Yeah.
That was cool. But didn't
You
do
have
the whole
such a
rally.
big fan base. Like, whenever we do the live streams when we're DJing, that everyone's locking in to watch or look for you. They don't care about us DJing. They go like, "Where's Shmee? We want to know where Shmee is."
If we're ever flagging on the start race on the grid, and we're thinking, all right, we need something to pick the energy up. The second you walk out, we're saved.
Do you know what? It's really fun for me because I got into the Gumball 3000, to be honest, because when I was younger, when I was at school, my cousin did some of the early ones. So something noisy, something with a very noisy V10. Definitely a Hurricane. So my cousin was doing the early rallies and I wanted to follow it, but back then social media didn't exist, so it was like, you can't, right?
Yeah,
there was nothing out there. So that was why in about 2010 I started filming loads of videos of the Gumball when it started in London, 2010 and 2011. And obviously every year since then I've done everything I can to film like the full coverage of the rally. So it's really fun for me how closely I think my audience has grown with Gumball, seeing the Gumballs evolve and meeting so many people at all the grids and going to all the events. Like, it's really fun to have that kind of like, you know, how things have changed, how we've all kind of developed in the last
Grown
decade.
up and all bought new cars in that time period as well.
You must have a whole list of friends that you've made through Gumball now.
Of course, you know, new faces and old. Some people who come back on every rally, some new faces I'm sure we'll meet on the in Canada next month.
So you're looking forward to the rally this year?
Cannot wait. You know, it's been far too long. We're so excited for, you know, having not done 2019. So obviously the last for me was when we finished in Tokyo in 2018. I was so excited for 2020, 2021. didn't happen.
Yeah.
And 2022 is
So
here.
it's 4 years for you.
It's 4 years. Cannot wait to get back under it.
In that last 4 years since doing it, you've got a warehouse now full of cars. I know you wanted to like skate over that, but tell us a bit about this. I don't even have a garage with one car, so like a warehouse with loads of cars blows my mind.
Well, I think the fun thing for the videos I've created is that we started using a tagline, "Living the Supercar Dream." I say we, myself, and my team who helped me run it all, and that has really been the, I think, overall theme of everything that we've done since. It's sharing the experiences of the kind of cars that a lot of us dreamt about as kids. You know, I certainly did, and I never thought would be possible. So now having my garage is more of a bit of a behind the scenes of what actually goes into looking after those kind of cars, but also the collection, because hey, I'm a car nut at the end of the day, earn some money, blow it on cars. That's how it goes. It's perhaps not
every
the most
guy's
sensible
dream.
thing. Yeah. And the result of that is creating loads of cool storylines, getting to work with some amazing manufacturers. You know, things like, even in the last month, you know, visiting 4 or 5 different car factories for companies and meeting, you know, I went out in a car with Christian von Koenigsegg, the founder of the company, recently, and having those kind of opportunities to me is like, how is this possible? You know, that's what younger Tim was like, never in a million years. So it's so fun now, obviously, to be able to kind of live, I guess, my own dream in many ways with the cars in the collection, and like you say, have the warehouse with a very bright, colourful lineup of cars in it.
So you said you met with like a few of the car like factories, and you've been into the places. Like, how does it differ? Are there certain manufacturers that are really nice to you, or are there certain people that are a little bit frosty? You can spill the beans here. It's only us three.
I gotta be careful. Only us three. I gotta be careful what I say
Steady.
here. Do you know what? It really actually depends when you catch people, like on different days.
Yeah, for sure.
Because let's say in terms of visiting or accessing a factory, if a company has a prototype of a future car going down the line, they don't want me to see it. Because if I see it, it might end up on the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do that, obviously, but you can see why for a manufacturer they have to be very careful, very cautious. But equally, I'm spoiled to get a lot of industry secrets, let's say, and see many things before they're mainstream or public, which is super cool.
Talking of secrets, what's in the pipeline for you? What projects are you working on going into the future?
So I think with the social media world in general, you have to be super fluid. You can't really plan massively down the line. So I'm always looking, I guess, at what trips and new ideas and interesting places we can go to. And you know, I've just done this, as I said, big tour. We actually took 2 of my other cars. We had 3 of the cars in different places around Europe with all sorts of things going on. Over winter, I had one of my cars out in the Middle East, out in Dubai, which was a whole new adventure. And then obviously over the last year, the garage, the warehouse has been a big project, taking a lot of time. I've got a few other things like that in the works.
I like the smirk on your face when you're talking about this.
Well, I'm just excited about it all. I feel like sometimes it might look from the outside of, oh, you do this every day, it's how can it still be exciting? But the reality is, I'm literally every morning, it's like a kid at Christmas. It's like, what are we doing today? Let's go, let's go have some fun. So a few, interesting channels, media projects, cars, things like that. I can't say too much because it takes away the fun for the videos.
Of course.
You can't spoil the surprise, Andrew. Come on, man. He's like this all the time, man. At Christmas, he's trying to open his presents. He don't like surprises. But Smee, you've got a warehouse full of cars. What is your favourite? Is it the Lamborghini STO?
So I tell you what, the STO is my first ever Lamborghini, and I knew a Lambo, wherever you go, makes people go crazy, but I never realised how much that's the case. I've never driven a car like it. And now, specking one in pink and yellow was probably not the way to be discreet, shall we say. But the craziness of driving the thing, it's not the fastest, it's not the most dynamic thing in the world compared to some of the other silly things that are out there now, but from an attention point of view, it's mad. My personal favourite car is actually my Ford GT. Lucky to get an allocation a couple of years ago for the new GT, which is a car built for a reason. I don't know how well you guys would know it, but effectively 50 years after Ford won at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, having tried to buy Ferrari and that whole Ford versus Ferrari movie thing, that obviously recapped that. It's just a car with a major story behind it, and such a kind of passionate community as well. There are some really cool gatherings and events and stuff with the Ford GT owners, so it's a really special car.
Really? Yeah. Speaking of favourite cars, what's your favourite car in the paddock? Is it the Lamborghini Moira?
Favourite car in the paddock? Favourite car in the paddock? Actually, it's either going to be the Lexus LFA or the Porsche Carrera GT.
Is that the ones that you can just see there? Is that?
But those are like. So I permanently keep like in my head my dream car list.
Yeah.
You know, like the cars that were on my posters when I was younger were the things that I would love to be able to maybe one day acquire. The top spot of my dream list is a Ferrari F50. F50 values are now 3 or 4 million, so that's gone. Wow. Unfortunately, that's skyrocketed.
I'm sure this time next year when we talk to you, you'll be
dream big. You
never say never.
No, and then Carrera GTs are fabulous cars, but it's like the world woke up to them in the last 12 months because the values of those and values of many special cars, with this whole uncertainty of electric or what's next, have all gone kind of completely bonkers, to be honest. So Carrera GTs are shot, and then the Lexus LFA, well, the car that was my number 3 is an SLS Black Series, but I bought one of those. So the Lexus LFA is number 3 now.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, well, it's been great to catch up with you.
Hey, hold on. We haven't found out the plans for the rest of the year, Shmee. Shmee's a busy guy.
Wait a second. Did I not just get told off for asking that question?
For the secrets.
Yeah, but he's doing Gumball. This time in 4 weeks, he's doing Gumball, right?
Yeah, oh wow.
He hasn't given us any hint. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, do we want to know what he's got planned for Gumball 3000? Is that a yes? Sorry to put you in the corner, Shmee. Sorry, man.
I'm properly in the corner now. Well, I can't wait, obviously, to get out to Toronto. This rally's been obviously planned for a while.
He's a pro. He's not giving anything away. What a legend.
This is the thing, right? If I were to say right now the plans I'm working on for like what to drive and how to do it, I just know my luck. Something's going to go wrong. It's not going to happen. It's actually a really complicated, obviously, rally. And from the outside, people wouldn't necessarily think about this. But the logistics, as you guys know, the logistics, the documents you need for different countries and continents and all sorts of things. And I had no idea how complicated it is to do Canada as well as the US. It's very easy to send a car to the US, but to do Canada as well,
it's a lot of
it's
a lot
complex.
of paperwork, right?
Yes, it's complex. And the car I would like to do, I gotta get some help, so I'm working on it.
Well, we wish you the best of luck with that because we want to see it.
And we also want to get a lift at some point. You're going to hook us up one of the legs?
I can try.
Yes, me. You heard it here first.
That's on camera. You've seen that. It's confirmed.
You guys are gonna cut that clip and play it back to me in Toronto and be like, my turn. It'll be something. If it goes to plan, it's something pretty wild. Something that you definitely call hyper. You know, big stuff.
Exciting stuff.
Thank you, Shmee, for joining us this afternoon. We know you're busy doing your videoing and racing today, so thank you for joining us. A Gumball veteran. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Shmee.
Thank you very much, guys.
God damn, it's a beautiful day to be in the countryside in Worcestershire. It is the pod right here with Piston Distillery and Gumball 3000. He's Andy Purnell, I'm Martin2Smoove, and we are joined by the legends, the Riviera Circle. That's an
Thanks for the
right?
introduction, yeah, very good.
So, for people that don't know, what is Riviera Circle?
I'll go first then. So Riviera Circle is a lifestyle and social app for car enthusiasts and owners. We created it because we're car lovers and we wanted to create a community around lifestyle and car ownership, and that's what we did. We created an app. It's in the App Store, Google and Android, free to download, free to sign up, and you get access to really cool events like this.
Really?
Yeah, one of the things to get access to is really cool events like this. 40 of the cars that came today are from Riviera Circle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you guys racing in today as well?
We drove up the hill earlier, very slowly. Very slowly.
No racing today.
Why did you go slowly?
Well,
Ken was driving.
I didn't want to be the only idiot that crashes today, so
it's a lot of pressure, isn't it?
No, exactly.
Is it your first time driving it?
Well, I've walked up it before.
Oh, did you?
And it felt really long last time because I walked up it. Today it was really quick, obviously driving up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't want to crash it. that's not how I wanted us to be remembered today.
Slow and steady.
Yeah.
That's a smart, intelligent way to deal with
Exactly.
things, right? So how did you guys start the Riviera Circle? Are you guys friends from back in the day?
Well, we met 7 years ago in the city, and basically nothing like the Gumball, but we decided to do a bit of a trip across Europe just amongst our friends, and it kind of grew. It's just a very private trip to. We ended up, where did we do the first time? To Monaco. Well, no, it was to Barcelona.
We ended in Barcelona, yeah.
But one of the big things that we learned, and you guys know this better than anyone, is that a lot of the guys that came, and as we've grown, their biggest kind of worry is, I don't really want to hang around with other people that drive other cars, and I don't want to compete with other people. And you get to become friends, and we really saw that it was more about the lifestyle.
You guys sound like refined gentlemen, unlike us reprobates.
It's just an act.
I wouldn't say
It's just an act.
It's fake.
I'm from North London, don't forget.
But yeah, you were saying that people are like, you guys are just attracting people that gravitate to each other in terms of
just a community. Exactly. It's a lot of guys that not necessarily have friends that have similar cars, similar interests that they can share. They got friendships, but it was more about expanding a friendship in that interest. And a lot of the stuff we did, again, it's just hotels. It's going to nice places. Going to whether it's champagne houses or whatever, having parties. Again, on a much smaller level. But I think that really what gave us an idea of creating a community that's app-based, a digital community, but inclusive for everyone. So the guy that drives the Golf GTI, the guy that drives the Bugatti Veyron, and what we do is we bring a huge amount of brands in. So we work with brands like Fabergé, Gordon Ramsay Group, and what we do is when you go on the app, you register your hobbies and your interests. So whiskey, watches, travel, whatever it might be. And then off the back of that, what we do is we send information from our partners directly into the app that's bespoke for that person. So it might be an invitation to a whiskey tasting evening. It might be, a watch company that wants to target all the Ferrari owners that like watches. And the other part is that you register your car. So we can match people on the type of car they drive. So we've got 11 circles. We've got supercar circle, hypercar circle, classic car, EV, muscle, and it goes on. And then you get matched to the manufacturer car. So if you're a Porsche owner, you go into the Porsche owner circle and you can chat amongst everyone else in the Porsche owner circle. So it's just about connecting people, but doing it
in a community. In a digital community.
Does it get competitive, like with the Porsche community and the Ferrari community? Is there any beef going down anywhere?
No, we keep them separate. That's the beauty of it. So they're in separate circles.
Yeah.
Kev, you're a smart man.
Yeah, that's right.
You say you work with some brands like Fabergé. I mean, that's a heavyweight brand. I think for someone like myself and Martin, we might be able to connect on like a KFC kind of level, or WH Smiths or something like that.
That's the thing. I mean, a lot of the brands we work with so we work with like Gaucho restaurants, we work with, who are the other restaurants, O'Bain. So we work with there's something for everyone essentially. Yeah. So there's the top level brands, but then there's everything down to, even like Piston are one of our partners, Shelsley Walsh are one of our partners, and Shelsley will call us up and say let's put our events on the circle. So in the events calendar you can see everything that's going on, and again that's massively inclusive to everyone. So any car club can ask us to put their event on if they've got a coffee and cars meet or a rally or anything. We put it all onto the app, so everyone's got a social calendar and they can access the community basically.
So even though it's quite like upper echelon and exclusive, you are also inclusive in other ways, right?
We were very conscious of that from the start, making it inclusive. Yeah. And ultimately, we want this as a tool that any person can create their own community. We just want to be the tool. We don't want to be a car club. We don't want to be associated with that. We just want to give car clubs and other communities a tool to create their own community, or at least run their own community. Because at the moment you have Facebook and Instagram, but people are shying away from that now, and they're too big. We're creating micro communities basically.
So are you just connecting people in the UK, or is it all over the world?
Global. We've obviously started in the UK. We're focusing here because it's not it's a home. But we're making a good impression in the US. I was over there last month talking to Magnus Walker, a couple other people who are interested in getting involved. So yeah, we're moving to the US as well.
Exciting stuff.
So you're saying there's a chance that me and Andy can roll to this year's Riviera.
You're more than welcome.
100%.
You heard it here. Kem said it.
It's
on
done.
TV.
If you're good enough for the Gumball, you're good enough for us.
Oh, love that, man. So how many years have you been doing it? How many rallies? Like, this is the... What number are we on now?
So we've done 6 rallies,
yeah.
But that's really just turned into a hobby now. The app and the business has been running for about 8 months.
Okay.
Yeah, we launched it last July.
And you can download it. It's on
anyone can download it. It's free. Free to sign up. We've got a new version coming out next week, which is another big step forward. We've got a very smart CTO who's unfortunately left for now, but yeah, he's really helping us drive the technology of the app.
Okay. So. What is your personal history with cars? How did you get into doing this together? Like you touched on the fact that you worked in the city, but what spurred you from taking that leap of faith and doing what you're doing?
I guess it's being car lovers, having done, having been on a couple of trips, and my background for the last 7 years prior to this was in luxury travel on the commercial side. So I had a good network of places across Europe, and Kem had been on a couple of trips, and we had a bunch of friends, so we said, look, so we just kind of book some hotels, go and do some really cool experiences. So the first time we hired Sunseekers out, and we did some boats in Monaco. We hired a champagne house out and did a champagne experience, and we did it for just a bit of fun, really. And it kind of, then their mates come back and they see it on Instagram, and we didn't have any presence on Instagram, but their friends did, and they asked what they're up to, and next year we signed a few more, and all of a sudden we had 20 odd cars, and we were like, okay, that's enough, because it's kind of for us it's a hobby. We were doing our full-time jobs at the same time, and it was more just a kind of a bit of fun, really.
Good stuff. So is this your first time connecting with Gumball 3000, or have you had experiences in the past?
It is. It is. Yeah, I mean, we're obviously very familiar with it. Is this mine?
No.
I think Callum's on it. It's given us
sorted already.
Technicians on it. Yeah. So
we've had a few people that have been on it. Back in the early days as well. So it's good to see how it's evolved over time.
Well, it seems like there's a lot of parallels with what you guys are doing. Like, certainly for me, one of the things I love about Gumball is it brings good people with shared interests together, and it sounds like that's exactly what you guys are doing.
100%. I mean, we'd love to get Gumball in the app as well, because we've got 1,200 supercar owners that are registered.
Wow.
So it's a good market to go after as well, and when you're talking about rallies, Gumball was kind of the benchmark, isn't it? So I think, if you're going to go for a commercial rally.
And what's the future for you guys? Is there anything that you want to shout about, or tell the people that are watching the stream, or people that are in the food area? We've got a lot of watchers, a lot of viewers in the street food area.
Oh, yes, we do, yeah.
Basically, if you like cars, you own a car, or you're a car enthusiast, go and download the app, sign up. It's free to join.
Yeah, it costs nothing.
Connect to the community, and you get access to more cool things like this. So just go and do it.
So
the reception's a bit patchy around here, so you might have to wait till you get home. But
yeah.
So just to remind everyone, exactly how do they go about downloading the app?
Well, you just search Riviera Circle on the App Store. That's one way. Or there's a couple of QR codes in the car park where you can scan those and
in the paddocks,
and it will take you directly to the App Store.
And we also on our website, if they go onto rivieracircle.com, we've got a call to action buttons where they can just click on the App Store or the Google Play Store, and it'll take them straight to it, basically.
Well, rivieracircle.com.
You have 2 new members by the end of the day. That's for sure.
That's
going to look out for you. If you haven't signed up, I'm going to be upset.
And I don't want him after me.
Can you private message people on there?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you'll be upset by what he does.
Oh, really?
Messages,
You can quick message, private message.
we have an admin function.
Good.
I don't want to get kicked out before I even got in, man. Andy. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Riviera Circle here. Thank you for joining us, man.
Thank you, chaps.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
We're back here at the pod with who we got next, Sandy?
Have we got Mr. Maximillion Cooper himself up next?
I've seen Maximillion Cooper and I've seen Eve.
Woo! We've got some heavyweights waiting in the Eves.
Not to mention MrJWW, all right here at the pod, the Piston Distillery, times by Gumball 3000 pod, right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the pod. We are here with Gumball 3000 and Piston Distillery and Martin2Smoove. We have a very special guest with us right now.
He is an extremely special guest. He is a Gumball veteran, a YouTube legend, a car enthusiast. He really does not need any introduction. You know who he is. MrJWW!
Man, you can come again. That was an intro. I love that.
You take me on all your grids. I'll announce you like that.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
How are you, brother?
Mate, it's amazing to be here. It's I'm feeling really good. I'm amongst friends, Gumball family.
Yeah, man.
Of course.
You know, sun's out, fun's out, and feels like the world's back to normal, man. It's good.
I'll drink to that. Let's cheers
let's do
that.
it.
Shall we?
Come
Come
on.
on.
Cheers, man.
It's
Cheers.
been a few years,
Pleasure to
guys.
see you. It has been a while.
Cheers.
It's been a while. I'm just checking. Is this mic working okay, everyone?
It works. Works out good for you guys in the back. Callum? Sounds great.
Mike's good.
Sounds
all
all good.
They're saying they're loving your dulcet tones, Mr. JWW. That's what I'm hearing in the ear right now. So look, it's been 3 years since I last seen you. You are, to me, a Gumball legend.
Yes, without a doubt.
And outside of that, you're a YouTube superstar in your own right. And what have you been up to the last few years, man?
Well, it's been a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been strange. Obviously, it's been strange for everyone. Thankfully, the car world kept ticking. Actually, it did keep ticking. But in 2019, you know, every now and again you'll sign online, and whatever social media platform you're on will remind you what you were doing this time last year. I remember 2020 sitting there locked inside my house, and up popped a slide from Gumball or something. I went down this like black hole of my calendar of 2019 to remind myself how little I was doing in 2020. And it turned out I had 80 flights in 2019.
Wow.
And across 20 and 21 I had 6. Yeah. And 4 of those were before lockdown.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So life changed a lot, but thankfully in that time we'd opened up a little film studio in Bicester Heritage, where it was just geared up purely for the role of filming cars. And after the lift of lockdown 1, the car brands had understood the loopholes effectively of what they could and couldn't do. And one of those was, if they gave cars to me, they would hold no responsibility for anything at all, and off you go and film. So I had like a queue of cars out of the bunker, which is the name of our studio, and it kept us going for a long time. So really, just by pure hindsight and happenstance, really, having that little place saved us, really. It was cool.
A lot of reviews, a lot of work being done.
A lot of reviews, man. Yeah.
You've been living in Dubai for a while, right?
Yeah, so historically, we would, when the clocks go back here and the weather changes, our industry in the car world just hibernates.
What, in the winter?
In the winter.
Really?
Yeah, mate. It's just everyone just goes home.
I thought people would be like more on it with cars because
no, it's funny.
You can't walk anywhere. You can't.
No. So what I mean is, there's no racing, there's no track days, there's no car launches. The general light is quite poor, so from a filming point of view, it sucks. It's always raining. And so we used to go to California for 3 weeks, and then we would go over to the UAE for 3 weeks just before Christmas, and then call it a day, go home. But at that time last year, LA, which we would normally spend time filming, was still quite strict with the whole COVID rules thing. So we thought, you know what, let's just fly out to the UAE and spend some time there. We were originally planned to go for 6 weeks, and then while we were out there, friends back home were like, Omicron's kicking off, you might as well just stay out there. So we did. we just rolled for months.
Extended holiday.
Yeah. We rolled for
so
months.
you're a fair weather content creator.
Oh, big time. I am a fair weather content creator, which is saying something for someone from the UK, where we normally spend our time driving in the wet, but it just makes everything look better. You know, if you have great blue skies and sunlight, you know, if you point a camera at something, it'll look nice. So.
Well, I hope you've been doing some filming today, because the weather's been wonderful.
I've been getting some shots. I've been doing some. I'm specifically here. I'm not fully working here, so I don't have. Normally, if I'm in front of a car, if there's a car near me, there's normally a camera in my face. Whereas today, I've got none of that. So it's been great to just walk around and do some like nice leisurely Instagram bits and bobs. It's been nice.
And more importantly, you've been doing some racing.
Been doing some racing, yeah. So last season I was in a championship called Britcar.
Yeah.
Which is a sort of, I guess, short form endurance racing. So like 2 hours long, shared with a co-driver. And I was in a car called a Praga, which, if there was such a thing as like LMP4, if it existed, which is like a sort of baby prototype car. So it weighed 640 kilograms, so it was light, but it had 1,000 kilograms of downforce. So it was, I mean, a full slicks and wings. Only around about 360 horsepower, but man, this thing was
only
it was fast. It was fast, man. Yeah, it was good fun. So that was good. And once you go racing, that's it. You're like, it becomes part of you. It ruins track days, because race cars and track day cars, they're just so far apart. But yeah, now I'm well and truly bitten by the racing bug, so I'm trying to squeeze in some more.
Well, have you been on the hill climb today?
I went up once. Yeah, I went up once, but as I mentioned, I got here, it was like Gumball family here, so I ended up talking too much. I missed the first like 4 runs. I was like, and then I was talking, and I literally heard my name on the tannoy, and we're like, we've seen this car, but we've not seen him go up the hill. I was like, oh damn. Oops.
That's someone that's fully prepared. He's definitely not here on a social, is he? Of course he is. Someone's calling him. That's like me being late for school, you know what I mean? So, are you looking forward to Gumball this year?
Mate, I can't tell you how much I'm excited for it. It's crikey, I've been doing Gumball since 2011.
Wow.
I missed one, so I've done a few, but there hasn't been one for 2 years now. This is like a real comeback tour, you know. I'm really excited. This isn't something which has been announced yet either.
Hold on, we got an exclusive.
We got an exclusive. Where's the alarm? Someone
this is
sound
when my
it.
brother-in-law runs out and goes, whoa. My brother-in-law is Max Cooper, founder of Gumball, and this will be the first time this year that we're doing it together as bros.
What a dream partnership
World
that
exclusive.
is.
You heard it here first.
Well, it'll either make or break the family. Let's see. Let's talk after the gig.
Have you done a rally with him before?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever been on a long road trip with him before?
Yeah, we did the recce for the 2012 rally together, which was New York to LA. And we drove across New York. Well, basically, we drove coast to coast twice in like 3 months because we did the recce, and then Gumball followed straight after that. So that was the longest amount of time I spent in a car with him at that time, which is like a week and still 3,000 miles, you know. So
well, he's a stressed out father now. So do you think it's going to be a bit fractious?
He's a new dad. So let's see. Hopefully, we can get on the road and to take all of his cares away. But it must be funny for him because, you know, for everyone else on the rally, it's their 1 week of the year where, you know, you let loose. I mean, people become different people on the rally, you know, they really go for it full send.
Absolutely.
But for him, it's his biggest week of the year, you know, like him and his team have been planning it and building up to it for, you know, a whole year, and now he's in it. So on the one hand, I guess he's trying to enjoy it. On the other hand, he's getting phone calls and texts going, what time are we here? Is this going right? Is this going wrong? So it'll be interesting to be alongside that.
I've heard stories that when he's driving with Eve for sometimes, like, he has to be in contact with people so often that he doesn't even get to drive some days because he has to be on his phone.
I'm sure. Yeah, that's probably why he's invited me, actually. You drive, I'll sit in the passenger seat.
No, you guys are super laid back, outgoing people. Is there anything that happened in that 2012 recce that you thought, well, I'm a little worried that this side of Max might come out? It's a bit...
Well, I'll tell you what. We picked up a rental car.
I thought you were going to say hitchhiking.
In New York. Well, actually, we almost broke down halfway through, but I remember we picked up a rental car in New York, and it had a flat tire. And we drove the whole length of the US on this flat, stopping it at most petrol stations, just putting in some air, putting in some of that run flat juice, you know, and we did the whole coast to coast on a flat, and it was that for me was the like spirit of the whole thing. It was like, it is what it is, wing it, let's just crack on with it. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure if you can survive a whole trip coast to coast on a flat tire,
I know.
You'll be fine on this one.
Yeah, but it'd be cool. But how about you guys anyway? Because for me, I know you guys through the rally, right? DJing from the rally. We were just sharing a story of 18. I was gonna ask you, what's the weirdest place that you've ever DJ'd? But it's got to be Bologna Airport Terminal 5.
100%. We turned up at this just to set the scene. We turned up at this airport incredibly hungover. I think we'd been partying until 5-6 in the morning.
One thing you don't realise, sorry to cut you up, Andy, we're always the first one in the club and the last one in the club because we're warming up for like Afrojack or Dead Mouse or Usher or CeeLo Green or Dallas Austin. So we're first in, last out. So we are shattered in the morning. But anyway, back to your story.
And very hungover as well. And we walk into this airport, heads kind of like hurting, and then all of a sudden we see a DJ booth behind the check-in desk. And from hungover and desperate for water, within about an hour's time, everyone was up and dancing. We were doing shots behind the check-in desk.
Just picture this. So it's probably quite hard to convey this, and I do actually have it on film somewhere. But imagine walking into the next time you check in to a airport anywhere. Imagine walking into your terminal, and actually it's a rave. And you're rather than someone handing you tickets, they hand you a glass of champagne and they say, throw your bags over there. And these boys, they turned the check-in desks into a DJ booth. And on the like little travelator escalator thing that drags your bag, you had speakers on there.
Yeah.
It was the most amazing scene I've seen. Fantastic.
What's the craziest thing that's happened to you on a rally? Because you've done like 8-9 rallies now.
It's still to me is taking the Aston Martin Vulcan on the rally. I mean, they built 25 of these cars, and they were never intended to go on the road. This was 2019. And a friend of mine, he owned one, and he decided to convert it to a road legal car. And it doesn't matter what you do to this thing, it's never going to be a road legal car, right? So he managed to like get a set of number plates on it, and we drove this car. It was from Montenegro to Venice on one of these legs, which transpired to be 700 miles, in a car that's designed to do about an hour on track. And it's unbelievable. It's a naturally aspirated V12, and the exhausts are side exit exhaust, which means they exit like by your arse, really. And the windows aren't glass; they're Lexan, which is plastic, and you sit super low in this thing.
Really uncomfortable.
Really uncomfortable. But because you're sat super low and the exhaust is here, you've got a straight through flamethrowing V12 next to your left ear for 3,000 miles, right? And
it's the height of summer.
I mean, sequential box. When I say we drove through Albania, like it was like a UFO on nitrous, like flying through Albania where there was more donkeys than there was cars, right? I mean, it was rare enough seeing a tractor, never mind a Mondeo or a Ford. And then we fly through in a convoy. That day we had a bright green Verde High-Kurs Ferrari 812 Superfast, a Koenigsegg Agera R, and this Aston Martin Vulcan, right? And I've got footage of us flying past like dudes like on like horses and traps, horses and cars, and with this guy going boom, 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 like flying through Albania. It was like 42 degrees, middle of summer. Just the wildest, craziest thing I've done in a car, I think. It was really up there.
Yeah, we remember we were hosting the grid as people came in, and people's faces were almost shocked with adrenaline, like, because there was police escorting you through the centre as well, right?
There was, yeah.
And wasn't there Aston Martin engineers following you guys all the way through?
We had a support crew because the turning lock on a race car is terrible. So sometimes we would get to a junction in a village or a town somewhere, and we couldn't make it round a corner. So we'd like turn as much as we could, and then a support crew would hop out of the van, push us back, and then we would just like try and shuffle ourselves in like a 14-point turn. No, none of that. It was unbelievable, man. But as sense of occasions go, I don't know if we'll ever top that car on the rally.
Crazy, James.
Unreal, mate. Honestly, it was really, really special time. It was, super cool.
If there's one car brand that you would have to pick, and you could only pick a car from that brand, what is it?
Mate, what's your favourite track right now, bro?
He's trying to draw you out. Don't allow it. Don't allow it. He's drawing you out.
This guy's good, man.
No, but really, it's like steak or fish. Horses.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, if I had to go for it, and this is going to be really cliche and really,
I feel like I know what you're
generic, right? But the Porsche GT3, it just ticks all the boxes. It's not necessarily the most exotic, it's not necessarily the fastest, but as a complete package that ticks most boxes, 1 minute you can be going to Tesco in it, and the next minute you're lapping the Nürburgring. Same car. Road trip, track day, they hold their value really well. They are expensive enough to be aspirational, but not obscene. They've been evolved for 50 years, so they just very rarely break.
Nothing like a thrill of the Porsche, right?
They're just brilliant. Yeah, it's just a great thing.
Is that what you raced today as well, right?
Yeah, that's what I sent up the hill earlier. Yeah,
boy.
I got straight pipe exhaust on it now, and most track days I get kicked off it, so it was nice to send it up here.
Yeah, nice.
It's cool, man.
So what have you got coming up in the future? Looking beyond Gumball.
Coming up, well, we've got another Porsche coming.
Yeah,
predictably, we've got a GT4 RS turning up in the next 5 or 6 weeks.
Nice,
which will be fun. But that'll actually arrive after Gumball, so maybe next year, which would be good. Take that one on, which would be cool. And I'm just looking forward to the world turning again. You know, the fact that Gumball's on again for me just signifies that it's back. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to it.
Wait a sec. Now's a good opportunity. You're hiring, right?
I am hiring. I am hiring a lot, actually. Yeah, we're looking for an editor. If there's any editors out there. Yeah, so I actually didn't say what I do. But
our head of podcasting, Callum, is looking at his staff saying no.
Say no. If you want a really well paid,
Callum's on to you, man.
Yeah, if you want to travel the world with supercars.
Do you know what? I might actually try and turn my hand to it.
Sounds good.
It sounds like a good job. I'm in for it.
It's not bad. No, I mean, thankfully we've got to a stage where we've grown to the degree that our existing team is struggling to cope, which is a good problem to have.
That's a great problem.
It's a good problem, but it's still a problem, and we are genuinely searching for talented editors, because we got hard drives full of great content right now that we haven't had the time to turn around, and yeah, things are growing fast. So
I have a similar problem. I have a DJ called Andy Purnell that I DJ with, and I've somewhat outgrown him, and if there's anyone out there that needs a DJ, they can DJ, come and holler at me. Sorry, so you're looking for an editor then, basically?
I'm looking for one. Yeah, exactly.
What a perfect job for someone that's in cars and editing. If you want, reach out to MrJWW.
Yeah, man.
How can everyone hit you up on the socials? I mean, I'm pretty sure they're aware of it, but you might as well shout it out.
Yeah. If you're interested in cars and fast things, you can find me on. Just basically, I'm lucky you can go anywhere and type in MrJWW if you're on whatever your favorite platform is, and it'll be there, which is handy.
Even your handles.
I managed to get those handles in early, you know. So yeah, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, just at MrJWW, and there'll be something fast and loud on there.
Great. James, on and off the camera, it's always a pleasure hanging with you. On the rally, off the rally. My G.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks very much.
No, thank you, brother.
We'll see you on the rally, right?
Yeah, see you
Can't
in Toronto
wait.
now,
Looking
man.
forward to Toronto. Let's do it. Looking forward to it, man.
Well, this is the penultimate interview on the pod here at the Gumball warm-up. And next up we have
two very close friends of ours. His co-pilot in the next rally.
It's weird you saying that.
Yeah. Mr. Maximillion Cooper and his amazing wife, aka the First Lady of Rough Riders. The First Lady of what? Gumball 3000. Who is it?
We got EVE with us.
Don't go anywhere.
We'll see you soon.
Sensational spring afternoon, and we are here in the pod with none other the legends, Mr. Maximillion Cooper, Eve Cooper, the First Lady of Gumball, the First Lady of Rough Riders, and the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Let's have a round of applause.
Yeah,
come on. It's that time everyone's been waiting for on this stream.
Yes.
I think we're almost 5 hours deep in this stream already.
They wanted us trained and refined for when you guys are
This is
here.
the warm-up for Gumball.
Exactly.
Yeah. We got podcasts, we got DJs going on, we got some DJs on the rally, right?
Yeah, some sensational ones I heard.
Yeah,
sensational DJs.
Sensational.
Sensational's
The
going to be
one
the word
and
of this
only
interview.
Mr. Martin2Smoove with Mr. DJ Andy P.
Thank you,
You guys.
So it's been a big year for you guys.
Yeah, what's happened this year? Oh
On and off the
I don't
pitch.
pay him any mind. At this point, I'm like, first of all, I'm so foggy. I'm so tired and so happy for our little boy.
He's so
Wild.
cute. Very cute.
Oh,
Yes.
he's so cute, isn't he? So cute. Sorry, I don't mean to do that voice, but I can't help it.
His first hill
I can't
climb.
help it.
Yeah.
Did he get a fast time?
Oh, not yet, but we'll try again. Yeah. So
I can think
that push chair is a bit slow.
No, well, what's crazy is this is in his blood because he's sleeping through all this noise like it's a lullaby.
Wow.
Really?
So all of this to him is nothing. So he's meant to be here. Like he loves it.
Yeah, if he's exposed to it this early in
Oh,
life,
he's
he's
fine.
probably gonna love it.
Yeah, he's fine.
Apparently, it's not his first car show either.
No, it's the second car show.
Second car show in 3 months.
He's only 3 months. It's his second car show.
Yes,
Max starts him early.
I think you've even you've DJ'd for him as well before, right?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Down at Gumball HQ.
He's
when
very
he was days old, I believe.
Days
Yeah.
old, yes.
Days
10
old,
days
and he was-
old. Which is crazy. 10. He was only 10 days old.
10
then.
days old.
He was very specific with his song requests as well.
I know. It's crazy. He is very
He's a
demanding.
little wild
He knows
thing.
what he likes. He
Yeah,
knows
Wild
what he
Thing, Wild for the Night by Skrillex.
Yeah.
A few, didn't we?
Yeah.
I started crying. I came over. Do you remember? I was like, oh my God. But I was super emotional. But it was so sweet. It was so nice.
Eve, I've known you now 9 years.
Yeah.
I have never seen you this happy. Well, I've seen you happy, but this is like
No.
you are so.
Well, she was not happy when we were first
No, no,
together.
no.
I mean it though.
This is like the
Thank
icing
you.
and cherry on top of the cake.
No,
I
can I
thought
tell
our
you-
wedding was pretty good.
Yeah, of course. But
Alright,
this is,
alright.
I mean, honestly, it's, I mean, I'm not going to go into the deepness of it, but you've known me for
Yeah.
so long that we wanted this for a long time. And this little boy is the most wanted little boy on the planet. Like, and that the fact that he's here, there are days I literally stare at him and I'm like, I cannot believe this is my little boy.
Me too.
Like, it's just
Me too.
amazing.
I'm so happy.
Yeah,
Don't
very
make
happy.
me cry.
Oh, anyway, this is a
Right, exactly.
car
Come on,
channel.
man.
Yeah, so
Bring
where
it
are
back
we?
to cars. And, so we got this.
Max, it's been what, almost 3 years since the last rally now?
It has. And what was it even? I can't even remember back. What was it? Mykonos to Ibiza.
Yeah.
2019. So yeah, I mean crazy. 2 years postponed, and we're back.
Thank
You must be
goodness.
so excited.
Yeah.
I think we are. I think, we all had that 1 year off in 2020 where I was kind of it was nice to have a bit of a break. I mean, the whole world was a bit scared about getting COVID, but at the same time, it was kind of nice to have a slight change of routine for 1 year of not having the pressure that comes with the rally.
Sure.
But then last year, we were just ready for it again. And so for it to be postponed last year just really sucked. And, so to come back this year, it's going to be amazing. We've got 2 rallies this year, 2 rallies in 1 year for the first time.
Yeah.
One in North America, starting in Toronto, ending in Miami. And then in November, starting in Dubai, doing a whole 3,000-mile lap of the Middle East, and then crossing the finish line at the Abu Dhabi F1. So should be pretty good.
Spectacular
Be
finish.
amazing.
Yeah.
So I've known you through the rally for the last 5 years, and you've always driven together.
Yeah.
And is this the first time you're not driving since I've known you together?
It's actually the second time, right? The first time was the Vegas one. I was
2015,
filming.
Eve was
Yeah.
filming a movie that
Oh,
time.
okay.
Yeah, I was
Barbershop
filming.
or something. I think.
Barbershop. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And so I co-drove with Locke, a friend of mine, that year. So there has been that year, but then since then, to be honest, we met in 2010 rally when Eve was on it, and
Yeah.
you've really done it every year apart from that one. I think.
Literally every
Yeah?
year since.
Really?
Before,
Wow.
Yeah, since that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is funny. Like I'm actually like FOMO. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like But we will be there. We will be there to see you off and to greet you at the end. Yeah, me and the boy. We will be there.
Me and the boy.
Me and the
Yeah.
boy.
So we can only big up the start and the end then. The middle's going to be rubbish.
I know. It's true. It's true. Well, at least don't tell me. Don't tell me. I know it's gonna be good.
Best
so many
party's
people
going to be
miss it.
Nashville.
I know. I'm sad.
Indy
I'm not
500
going
en
to
route.
Nashville.
I
Yeah.
mean,
It's going to be incredible.
Listen, it's going to be exciting.
flying.
Everybody's ready. Everybody's ready. The world is opened up, thank God, and it's just time again.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which stop are you most looking forward to on the first rally, Max?
You know what? I think because we worked on this one for so long, I think we've kind of upped the ante a little bit. I think at the start in Toronto, we're probably having, you know, fingers crossed, it's a good day, we'll probably have 100,000 plus people. Wow. So to set it off with that sort of energy, and we're doing a music concert the night before, lots of Gumballs performing, headlined by Deadmau5, who's on it again, and he's obviously from Toronto. Yeah. So I think just with a send-off like that from Toronto, and then, you know, your first stop is Indy 500, it's kind of crazy. And like I said, Nashville, Atlanta, Miami, I mean, they're all amazing places. So, and then when the rally finishes on that finale night, in Miami, we're doing a music concert, charity soccer match, and car show. So everything has just kind of like grown this year to a next level.
Everybody knows Gumball for supercars and amazing parties, but there's also amazing drinks this rally. So tell me, how did you team up with the guys from Piston Distillery?
Well, you know, here we are. Where are we? Worcestershire, Shelsley Walsh. I grew up around here. So I moved here when I was about 10 or 11 and left here when I was sort of 18, 19, moved to London. So this bit of the world is still, you know, where I'm from. And my parents still live here. And so, you know, I got to meet Nick, who owns Piston. He's from here, the distillery's here. And it's just really nice to kind of connect with a local company. And kind of, you know, I've always connected over the years with Morgan cars because same thing, they're from here. And hence why I've driven the Morgan on the rally a few times. And so I think just, you know, having now Morgan and now Piston Distillery as part of the local family that can experience Gumball around the world with us is great.
I've got to say, they are delicious drinks as well.
And the drinks are great. This one is, we keep on getting told what it is. It's
what is that?
This one is called, what is it?
Jerry Halliwell.
A bitter ginger, I think, is on the menu.
Yeah, it's spicy
it's a ginger spice.
Oh, that's dope. That's really cute, actually. What do I have?
It's delicious too.
It is actually. It's very good.
Especially in the sunshine. I mean, it's been incredible today. This has definitely given me extra excitement for the rally. Very, very much ready to go now.
Good. Yeah, I mean, guys, you've done it for several years now as well. So how are you looking forward to it?
I am just, we cleared the schedule, obviously, whenever it's Gumball, and it's like,
and now, you know, the problem is you two getting so big. I've now kind of like trying to get a week out of your schedules.
Call my people now.
Yeah.
I started working with someone recently that I can't turn down their gigs, but I said the one thing that I cannot miss is this date to this date for the rally. It's the only thing that
you know what? Maybe you write it in future that whoever these other artists are that you're DJing for, you just bring them with.
There we go.
I
think that's the plan.
Yeah.
You already know the artists I TJ for, so we're good.
It's perfect.
How are you finding motherhood, Eve? Like,
it's amazing. It's better than I ever thought it could be. I mean, it's tiring. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie.
You always say you're tired, but you never look tired.
Let me tell you how sunglasses, bronzer, and Spanx help everything, ladies. I'm sure any ladies out there listening will know that it helps everything.
How did she know I got Spanx on?
Listen,
I knew I was going to be sat down and start flat
at
an angle.
Totally, like, fully real. But honestly, that smile every morning, his eyes, it's literally the best thing in the world.
Oh, no, I'm tearing up as well. Can we get some tissues over here, please?
Oh man,
it's emotional.
It's emotional.
We've got some quick fire questions to ask.
Oh, we do.
Okay, what's
yeah.
up?
Let me
Are we talking
We're
cars?
going to test your relationship today.
Yes, yes.
Mr. and
Where
Mrs.
no other interviewer has ever been before.
Okay,
Right, so you ready for the first one?
Yeah.
So who's the most likely to flip the bird whilst driving?
Definitely me.
Yeah.
Who's the best driver?
Definitely me.
Definitely me.
Whatever.
Let's talk about Gumball, New York to Los Angeles, driving a Shelby Cobra.
Well, you had to drive that car because that car didn't like me, and it was a manual. And black girls in no roof cars is not the best thing. I had a weave; it was just not good. So that car was not for me.
You're a great driver. You just couldn't drive that car.
I'm a great driver with a roof for my weave.
Okay. All right.
What's the phrase? A bad worksman blames their tools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey.
Have you learned how to drive manual now?
No, I do. I need to take
learn
lessons.
how to drive yet.
Ooh, I've seen her drive.
Okay. Thank you.
Don't worry.
I've been show for the last couple of days. I mean.
Yeah.
You know.
No, but you know what? Honestly, Max, I would say he's definitely a more careful driver than I am. I'm not careful, but he definitely has more precision driving. But I'm faster, so.
But he's a racer.
Well, well, no.
Right, so next one. Who's got the best road trip soundtrack?
Oh, definitely me all day.
Mm.
Stop it.
Do you know what?
You don't listen
Hold on.
to anything.
My road
you
trip
don't even listen to
soundtrack
anything. It's
was
the road.
done by Martin last time.
Oh.
So,
Yeah,
I mean...
thank you, Martin. So
All
by
right,
proxy,
so Eve wins.
by proxy.
Oh, right, great.
You wouldn't have that soundtrack because you wouldn't know Martin. So it's still me. But also, he drives total quiet. Like, the road is his soundtrack. And I can't drive like that. When I drive, I need, like, it's a concert the whole
I'm
time.
like, listen to that gear change. You know?
No, it's true. I can't drive like that.
Yeah.
Your wife's the hip hop artist, like
Right.
I
have to have
When
music.
she's not in the car, I've got full hip hop blaring as loud as you
I
can
think
imagine.
I've seen you steering with your.
Oh God, please
I do.
don't. No, please.
I think I might know the answer to the next one, but
What?
who leaves the car the messiest?
Yeah.
He leaves everything the messiest.
Yeah, just taking that
Definitely. I'm not one of those neat people. I'm clean, I'm just not neat. But yeah.
Right, here we go. Who's most likely to scuff the wheels?
Oh man. I will definitely hold my hand up for that.
Max.
I had to actually pay for some wheel. I had
it's
to pay
happened.
For some, yeah.
New cars,
New
borrowed cars.
Listen, you guys, these streets in England are very small. Okay?
Can we actually just say
They're
it's not
teeny.
just wheels and rims, it's wing mirrors too.
Oh,
Have I done that?
They kind of I seem to remember you borrowed a very nice Bentley and it came back with one wing mirror.
I don't remember this. I think this is a lie. This is a lie.
We'll let your lawyer deal with that.
Yeah,
Go on.
exactly. I'm like, I don't remember that.
Who is most likely to get pulled over?
Oh.
Unfortunately, I seem to get pulled over quite a lot.
I was about to say yes, definitely.
I don't know why.
It's
but,
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have one more. Oh yeah, who gets harassed the most by the Gumball fans on the rally?
Oh, you know what? Probably Max, definitely. It's honestly because I feel like the fans that are car fans that are in this world are different than music or sports or anything. I think it's a total different world, and they are so excited to see him and to see the drivers.
So outside
it's not
of the
about
rally,
just the person, but
outside the rally, if
Max.
we're out in the streets in the States, whatever, I'm the one that gets handed a camera saying, "Can you take a picture?"
No, but can I tell you?
And during the rally, Eve's there getting cameras.
I'm the one taking pictures.
I heard a story that you can't go to Westfield like back in the day or something like that.
It's not. It's just. It's an ordeal.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Eve, you've always been into your cars. We know Max has.
Yeah.
But what's your car history? Because whenever I've seen you in the States, you've always had
Yeah.
fly whips.
I've been very lucky to drive some really nice things. I like anything with the engine, I guess. Like I don't.
That's a start.
No, like heavy engine. Put it that way. Like I like anything with a heavy engine. Anything that has a sound that sounds like a monster is my favorite thing.
She loves Teslas.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think when I was younger, because I've always been, that's like my tomboy side. So when I was younger, for me, it was about when I got money, I was like, I want to get a dope car. But I didn't really get into fast cars until. Actually, with you, I've been into fast cars, but I was never into classic cars. Like, I didn't know anything about classic cars, and now that's like a new thing. So, but I've always loved cars. Always.
Any favorite that you've had?
Oh, she's got her eye on this Aston Martin from the 70s.
Yeah, that's like my dream car.
Yeah.
But it's a manual. And I don't want to mess it up. I want to get it, but I don't want to mess it up by switching it to automatic because it'll kill that car. So until I learn how to drive manual, I won't get that car.
Martin's a really good teacher.
Are you? Do you drive?
He's really good.
I do drive. But
I'm like, wait, but?
Well, I mean,
I do
he
drive, but I
drives,
wouldn't say I'm a teacher. It's more like the blind leading the blind. If I was. But Max, is there what's your favourite car been that you've driven in the rally that you would want to keep?
Oh, that I've driven in the rally.
You got good ones.
I have done a bit of everything. I've done the difficult ones and the super luxury and comfortable and the regular hypercars as well. I think I think I actually genuinely tend to enjoy the rally a bit more when I'm in something that's a bit difficult.
Yeah.
Like that Defender that time, right?
Yeah, the Defender was definitely a challenge again, and I'd drive the whole trip because somebody over here can't drive manual, you know.
Hey man, I kept the music going. That was my part. Okay.
No, but I've driven. I don't know. Like I said, I mentioned before that maybe 1963 Shelby Cobra was a challenge.
Oh.
You know, and it broke down every day, and we got to fix it, and just whatever. But it was raw and
it
powerful,
was beautiful,
and
but it was
beautiful,
annoying.
and just kind of because some modern cars are just, you know, as beautiful as they may look, a bit too easy.
Yeah.
And I don't always want to bring something that's just. I want the raw experience still.
Have you decided what you're going to drive this year?
Well, it's probably a bit easy, but I'm driving something very beautiful Lamborghini this year.
Oh,
so
Lambo.
I haven't done a Lambo since 2003.
It's not really been British car. Every time I've seen you, it's always been a British car, right?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But I just we got this been approached by Lamborghini and kind of thought, you know what, that'd be
It'll
pretty
be
cool.
dope, especially for the
You know?
States. I feel like Lambos are big in the States.
Yeah. And in the year you got married, you kind of did your, as Americans call it, the bachelor trip or stag party. You did it as a Italian job, right?
Well, we did it that year. I was sponsored and working with the Fiat Group. So we did actually we did a bit of a take, obviously, on the Italian job, but we did 3 sort of Fiat Abarths to kind of replicate the kind of Italian job sort of sequence of red, white, and blue cars. And
how was
that? Did that. It was really fun because you know that was us me and mates driving together, having this sort of bachelor week during Gumball was brilliant. And so, you know, like I said, 1 year driving a Lamborghini, another year a Rolls, another year an Abarth is kind of totally different experiences.
Any strong years of cars that you liked in the rally that you did in?
When we did Tokyo, I loved that Aston Martin.
Oh, that car was.
That was like.
That was a lime green one. Was it the lime green?
It was. What color was that? It was green. It wasn't lime, but it was green, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was beautiful. That car, that drive was everything.
I mean, we've done.
That's probably my favorite car.
Vantage, Vanquish, DB11. You know, over the last few years, we've sort of got this great sort of love for Aston Martin and British cars, and so, you know, been a big supporter of them over the years and love them. So it's good to.
I'm sure you can't release too much, but I'm sure you know about some of the cars that are coming on the rally. Is there going to be something special this year?
Oh, my favorite.
I mean, there's always special stuff. Right?
What's your favorite?
I mean,
right now, Lambo truck.
Oh, really?
That's like my favorite.
What? That's on the rally this year?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many of them on the rally this year. They've become like the sort of the I think we got about 13 of them on the rally this year. So it's kind of a cross between a good support crew vehicle and the most luxurious, comfortable kind of SUV.
That's why I would
like.
That's why I like it, because I like power, but I like luxury.
But this year, again, like all years, I mean, we've got someone who's doing it in a 60s VW, you know, Beetle, right through to hybrid one-off hypercars to, you know, someone who's doing it a tour bus. Really? So I mean, it is again as eclectic as you can imagine. I mean, it's actually Team Texas in a tour bus.
Of course, it's Team Texas.
It's gonna be a party.
Everything.
Of course, it's
I mean,
Team
you know,
Texas.
It's not even a tour bus; it's a party bus.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
So the one thing good about Gumball is it's not just about cars; it's like a lifestyle. It's parties, and if it wasn't for that, you guys would have, like, that's how you guys met. Like, combined music and popular culture. Like, is there, apart from obviously Eve, is there anyone hit on the rally who's your favorite standout artist that's done it over the years? Anyone?
I mean,
it's been great. Honestly, it's been amazing.
I think Gumball's been good for me in the sense that through the different worlds that I've been fortunate enough to kind of experience. When I say worlds, like cultures of being into music, being into kind of skateboarding and that kind of culture and car world, I've managed to kind of become friends and invite people that are the heads or figureheads or legends in those worlds, and they come and experience what I'm putting on and become part of this family too. So, you know, over the years, I mean, the likes of, you know, Jackass guys, Tony Hawk, David Hasselhoff, you know, Bun B, all these guys are actually kind of legends in their field and are part of what we've created here.
So diplomatic.
Isn't he? I know.
Yeah.
Always.
What
For
about
me,
you?
my whole favorite. No, I have to say it is one of those things. I don't think I have one favorite, but I think there's so many dope moments.
I mean, we've had Formula One world champions, Damon Hill, Lewis Hamilton.
No, but like, you know, for me, highlights that stand out for music, probably CeeLo. like when we were in.
And he's on it again this year.
Okay, yeah. Anytime I get to see like Afrojack play or Deadmau5 play, like these are people that people pay. First of all, we all know how much they get paid, and the people will like line up to see them play, and to see them play in person, it's just cool. Like, you know, I don't know. It's just
hang
like,
out for the week.
Yeah, just hang out for the week. It's cool.
I told you they wouldn't say the superhero.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
we
y'all
lined
are
you. We
amazing.
lined you both up, and you flopped it.
Who's your favourite DJ, Z?
Superhero DJs, obviously.
Oh,
yeah, but that's different.
guys.
That's different. You guys are dope. Y'all are like.
We're not really fishing for it.
Callum, you could edit that together, so it looks like that was their first response, right?
But listen, thank you. We've taken up a lot of your time already, but thanks for letting us host this. Thanks for putting on such a great event today. We look forward to the rally.
Well, let's thank everyone that's been here. Hope everyone's enjoyed it. Thanks to Piston for putting this on with us and really putting it on, really. We're kind of almost guests of Piston for this one, so
A round of applause for Piston Distillery.
And thank you to the superhero DJs, obviously.
And everyone that's raced up the hill, amazing.
Yeah, and all the drivers.
I mean, what a car turnout today.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know your cars. What's your favourite car that's been here?
Oh, yeah.
Lexus.
Oh, yeah, good.
LFA.
What is it? LFA, well done. LMFAO. Lexus LMFAO.
I appreciate
Nice. No, it's been amazing. Been some fantastic cars, just to hear this sound of motorsport in action again, and to be here kind of, you know, a few miles from where I grew up is really nice to be back.
And you brought the weather out as well, guys.
Of course. It's been special. Of course. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you,
you.
Max.
Thank you,
Eve.
Thank you, Martin, Izzy.
Thank you.
I'm Scott.
And I'm Oscar. And together we are the Ginfluencers UK.
And we are at Piston Distillery in Gumball 3000 warm-up.
Yeah, over here at Shelsley Walsh.
And it's been amazing. It's been an amazing day. And we're here with Nick and Grace from Piston Distillery. We watched Nick go round a couple of times. Well, how was that for you, Nick?
Yeah, it was good. It was first time I've really pushed that car up this hill. So few incidents,
Stalled it on
a few
the first
burns,
go.
few stalls, a few missed gears. But yeah, really good fun.
I did get to push the car as well, so I'm actually feel privileged.
It was after the second run, wasn't it?
You're pretty much a hill climber. You know?
I know, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. So we're here not just because of the cars, but because of you guys and your gin. So do you want to take us through, you know, what started you in the gin world?
Yeah, sure. So initially, I fell in love with the idea of owning a beautiful copper still, and when I realised the alchemy that goes into making gin, it was kind of that just had to happen.
It's a proper chemistry, isn't it?
Yeah, and how much fun. You stick some stuff in this thing and out comes this delicious hooch. And yeah, a lot of reading, a lot of research, a lot of practice, and came up with what we think is a really tasty gin. And it's diversified from there. We've made lots of different flavours. I've kept it all as simple as we can, so there's not too many nasty things in our beverages. They're all sort of low sugar, natural ingredients, very, very clean spirits. And yeah, we've had a lot of fun. There's been some stress along the way, I'm not going to lie.
When you started this journey making your gin, did you realise how hard it was going to be? Were you prepared for it, or?
Making the gin is, to me, making things comes naturally. I am a maker. I like to make all kinds of different things, and so that part of it is fairly straightforward. And I learnt it very quickly. I find that if I'm told something, I'm not very good. But if I'm interested in something, I learn it incredibly fast. And so the production side of it and research and development in this industry is kind of cool. So that was good. Running a business, I've done that and a couple of things before, but this has been very different for me. I've never done anything that was in a retail sector, so I've learned an awful lot very quickly, and probably in quite an expensive and stressful way. But that's the difficult side of it at the moment. But the production side is just giggles.
And it's obviously very important to have a good team around you, and we've met loads of your team today.
Wow.
And a very special member,
look.
Grace.
Yeah.
What do you do within this business?
Grace does everything in this business.
I do everything.
Yeah.
No, I don't make the gin. Well, I put the still on. Recipes are not mine. They're always Nick's. But I oversee the day-to-day. I oversee Nick's calendar. I tell him where he's got to be and when. And I put on.
Grace has put this is today is Grace. All I've done is stood behind her and said yes and no to a few things, but Grace has done everything to put today together.
It's been so good, so successful.
It's been amazing, and other people that we've spoken to today have just been blown away by the whole event. It's been a great success, so you should be very, very proud.
Thank you.
You have a fantastic looking product. The bottles don't look cheap. And for me, the extra details that you go in, I know that you were really focused on where the P lined up in the bottle, the extra turn in the bottle that Grace told us.
It's a curse.
It's a real curse.
The detail for me.
Attention to detail.
Yeah, it haunts me. I can't let stuff go out unless it's right.
But I think you'd be a lesser person if you didn't have that. And it's produced an amazing gin. Now, so we were lucky enough to know this gin before we had any dealings with Piston Gin, and we liked it from day one.
Yeah, and sometimes for me, I look at a bottle and I'm like, can what's inside live up to the bottle? And it really does.
Thank you.
It really does, and more. And I think your gins are really good because they're versatile. Cause there's a lot of people out there that don't like tonics. There's a lot of purists out there, so you've got to have a gin and tonic. And we believe that you should have, if you bought it, and drink your drink the way you want to do it. Enjoy gin and kind of open it up. And with a lot of your gins, you do recommend ginger ale, lemonade, or in
cloudy apple.
Yeah, cloudy apple. Because we are going to be trying some now, so we're going to be doing one of your favourites.
It's that time of day.
It's that time of day.
It also happens to be my favourite.
Yeah, so which is the ginger one. So I'll pour them. So what do you want yours mixed with, first of all? And then
well, I mean, the ginger's super versatile for me. I either drink it neat or as a Jerry Halliwell, as I call it. I'm probably going to get into trouble for that at some point. But
she's ginger and she's spicy.
She's ginger and spicy, yes. But I mean, if we're not shaking cocktails, let's just drink it neat on some ice.
Let's do it.
Oh,
right,
that's the one.
Talk while I do that.
So, Grace, you have learned loads during this as well, didn't you? Because
I have.
you, how much did you know about gin before you came into the industry?
Nothing. I didn't drink it. I didn't like it. I did 2 weeks of working here, and I decided get closer to it. I've got to get closer to my mic. I've been told. Yes, boss. I didn't like it. I didn't like gin at all. 2 weeks after working, I decided to pluck up the courage to speak to Nick about it and be like, I don't like gin. I'm working for your gin brand. And he very quickly taught me it's not the gin that I didn't like, it was the way I was drinking it, and it was the type of gin that I had drank in the past with that tonic on a gun in a bar.
Yep.
So got my head around understanding gin, and I think when you understand what goes into making a product, you understand what you're drinking, and therefore you fall in love with it. And the flavours then have all been introduced, and I've loved the flavoured gins. Started on the strawberries and the sweeter ones, and I've now gone full circle to going for a dry gin. And lockdown was a blessing and a curse to a lot of people. For me, it was a way of trying a lot of gin. I went through a lot. I'd come back and say to Nick, everyone's laughing at me now, I tried a lot of gin.
Yes, research,
research.
Exactly what Nick said.
Hundreds of gins.
I would come in, I had this really nerdy spreadsheet, and I was like, Nick, you've got to try this one, you've got to try this one. And yeah, I have learnt gin because of Nick. So yeah, and I know it inside out now, I feel.
And because we were lucky enough to have you come over to our gin room. Now we have quite a few gins.
They got me drunk and put me to bed on their sofa.
You can make us sound really bad here. Actually, first, before cheers. Thank you for a brilliant day.
No, you're welcome. Thank you.
Right.
Cheers.
Right. Cheers, Grace. Thanks.
I can't reach it.
Oh, that is
But
lovely. It's definitely my favourite.
So you're in our gin room, and
you actually did tell us a lot about the flavouring that you learned and how to taste a gin correctly. Which
Grace knows a lot more than she lets on. She's learned an awful lot about what flavours work together, and she says all these drinks are mine, but she's actually, I don't know whether I can tell you what we're going to launch in the summer. There's a little limited edition. You tell them, it's yours. Grace has come up with a fantastic new flavour, which we're going to do a very small run of and sell it out. She's made a few gins she made the Morgan gin. That's nothing to do with me. That's Grace.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, I tried that for the first time today, and that was exceptional.
It's very grown up.
Oh, wow. that really, that ticked every box for me.
Yeah.
It was just so beautiful. There, the kind of the woody notes through there, the kind of the whiskey notes coming through. You're right. It's a grown up drink.
Yeah.
It's a really, really grown up drink. So what you doing then?
A rose and lychee.
Oh, we were just discussing lychee.
Right,
it's an underrated fruit, isn't it?
Yes, but also,
good.
Do you know what I like? I used to like rose liqueur and lychee liqueur with champagne.
Yes.
So I think that gin in a champagne for me would be my perfect cocktail.
See, Nick and I have both got a thing about lychee martinis.
Oh.
Love them. And then the idea with the rose was give you that Turkish delight on the nose. But yeah, it's quite nice, isn't
I
it?
bet it will be a delight.
It's really, really good.
It's in a Pyrex dish at the moment with a bit of cling film over it, which isn't very glamorous, but it's just like we're just slowly but surely getting our way through it. But
that is so good. And what we notice about all of your gins, and we have sampled all of them, is there seems to be no compromise on the quality. The taste seems there's a lot of taste in every single one of them, and they're all very different. They're not samey.
No.
And some brands just
we've thrown a lot away. Like we've had batches of 700 litres of gin, and it's usually me that messes it up, and it's gone down the drain because you can't,
That's not cheap.
What can you do with it?
There's a lot of loud words.
There's a lot of loud words.
Put it down the drain.
We know a couple of people in the audience that would have drunk those.
Yeah, it probably would have been okay, but I'll call you next time. But yeah, there's usually some swearing, and I tantrum a little bit, and then we have to pour it away.
Yeah.
It's got to be right.
It's got to be right. It's got to be.
I mean, the thing that we kind of had when we had Grace over, so we reviewed your vodka. So your vodka is distilled 9 times.
Yeah.
It is the most super pure vodka I've ever tasted.
It's danger. It's dangerous.
It is
so dangerous.
amazing.
It's creamy. It has a lovely mouthfeel.
It's light.
It's kind of almost effervescent. So you get the kind of it coats your mouth and
Yeah,
then it just
yeah,
kind of disappears.
Yeah.
And it's
totally get
it's
that.
Brilliant. And
that for me is a lot of spirits. When you drink them neat, I think that you need to feel that it wets your mouth rather than it just being this neat evaporating spirit. It needs to, like you say, it needs to coat your mouth and feel like you're drinking velvet. And with a vodka, the whole thing is that it shouldn't taste of anything. It should just be this smooth, clean alcohol. And I think we've nailed it with that.
You 100%
We tried distilling it more, and it's diminishing returns. It was almost indistinguishable when you took it through another time. So we hit that number, and it's like, now we know what we're doing.
How did you get to that number of 9?
Just keep practicing.
Distillations.
A lot of practice. All of this is just a lot of practice.
I told them before about
Grace
when you
did tell
bought
us
me
a
that
story.
shot on the day that it was 9 times distilled, and Nick has a habit of doing it first thing in the morning. He puts it in front of you. 9 a.m. first thing in the morning.
Can you do my boss?
And I knocked this shot back.
It wasn't even a small. It was a proper. It wasn't even a shot. It was a glass full.
I knocked it back, and he sort of bolted a little bit at me, and my naivety with vodka is that you shot vodka, you don't sip it. I've come to learn this is a sipping vodka.
Go, Grace.
But go, Grace.
It's your stuff.
But when I then looked at him and this horror that struck on his face, he was like, what's the matter? He said, I hadn't watered it down, Grace. It's 76% alcohol volume it was. And
straight out the still.
Shot back. But it was smooth at 76, so you can imagine. Well, you guys know, but at 40, it's unbelievable. But you knock it back at 76, and you're still standing. You're all right, aren't you?
That's why you end up drinking so much gin at our house.
Yeah, because you did knock them back a bit. I'll say that.
Train. I was meant to get the train.
What was amazing as well was that you did a release that raised money for UNICEF Ukraine.
Yeah.
And that was phenomenal. I mean, I know that you kind of didn't expect the kind of uptake that happened.
It was great. I mean, we sold. I don't even know the number.
I think we're about 120 bottles now.
Oh, is that? Yeah. I mean, we
We made 2.
Actually, no, it must have been more.
We made 2 bottles for a bit of fun one day and saying, this would be a nice thing to sort of post out. And we took so many orders. It was like, crikey, we need to make more. And so I came in on a Saturday morning and made 70 or 80 bottles. And they'd gone by the end of the weekend. So it's fantastic. And we're still selling a few. So we're yet to do the maths, but we're hoping that it's a reasonable chunk that we can...
No, it's really commendable what you did.
And I think it's amazing because a few distilleries after that kind of jumped on the bandwagon of that, but they did it really, really briefly for a really small amount, and you guys didn't. You kind of like dragged it through as well.
We've still got them. We've sold some today.
Yeah, there's some here. Yeah.
So if anyone's out there and listening and stuff, go online and get a bottle because it raises money for the Ukraine. It's an amazing product. It's an amazing cause. So this is Oscar's favourite. The ginger is Oscar's favourite. So that one there is my favourite. So
I've got some bad news though. I didn't bring any more glasses, so you're gonna have to drink that.
You're gonna have to finish that one.
You've brought all the dangerous drinks to the table, haven't you? Because for me, I'm a staple drinker of the London Dry. The flavoured gins are great and they're fun, and you can make some nice cocktails with them. But when I get home after a day, it's easy, no garnish. Triple shot of gin, bottle of tonic, load of ice, it's gone. And then there's another and another and another.
You're right. I mean, everyone, we love a gin. Not everyone loves a gin, though.
Mm-hmm.
So for people that aren't traditional gin lovers, your other gins kind of really reach out to them. Even though it says gin, it actually really grabs to them. Your London Dry is fantastic, and we really, really do love it. The thing I like about it is proper gin. If you know what I mean? It has that real juniper hit, that kind of piney juniper hit, which you kind of want, and a lot of them are lacking. And it is kind of really, really flavorful.
I think it happens a lot when people, and I never wanted to do flavoured gins. For me, at the outset of this, all I wanted to do was a super clean vodka and a super clean gin, and that was it. But the world demands more, and so flavours is a thing that you kind of get sucked into. And I thought, well, funny story.
Go on, say it.
A girl that shall remain nameless. I have to be very careful because my girlfriend's here somewhere. But before Gemma, as a girl I fancied, and I see a post on social media of her having a night drinking pink gin with her friends, and it looked like utter rubbish that she was drinking. And I thought, right, let's make a decent pink gin. And this is where the strawberry gin was born. And so there was a lot of trial and error with amounts of strawberries, how long you steep it for, what percentage you steep it at, lots of drunken nights, and we nailed that recipe. I nailed that recipe, and that most of these flavours have been born of some kind of emotive requirement to make them,
which shows a real passion there.
Yeah.
What I found interesting, so we were lurking round the stand where where your guys were selling.
They've
the bottles.
been top sales guys today.
So
and
we
I don't doubt.
Need them on the team.
we weren't selling. We were just telling them what we like, and it was really interesting because these are people that don't have to buy. They don't buy into your brand. They don't have to buy into your brand. They were coming along. We were chatting to them about gin, about our love of gin. They were trying things, and they were walking away with bottles. And that
outstanding.
And do you know what? More often than not, people that come up actually bought. So I think, as an owner, you should be really proud that when people try your gin, that they will actually walk away with a bottle. It is a really saturated market. It's a difficult market. There are distilleries that start up and then they go under really, really quickly because they don't realise the work that goes on behind it. Everyone thinks a distiller, you just earn loads and loads of money. They don't realise how difficult and all the constraints you have.
It's hard, yeah. I mean, we've had a real roller coaster. I mean, pre-COVID, we were experiencing 100% growth annually, which was fantastic as a business model. And then most of our business was on trade, and so when COVID hit, we lost 95% of our business. And it was we switched to making hand sanitizer. Within 2 weeks, we were making 10,000 litres of hand sanitizer a week, and it lasted for 6 months.
Yeah.
Carnage, pure carnage. But it saved the business. And then we found that gin sales started to pick back up a little bit, but it was hard work. Lots of staff changes, lots of business change. And I feel like we're now in a place that's not far advanced from just as we went into COVID. So we've had 2 years of treading water. And I see a lot of gin brands, as you say, have not weathered that storm. And it's been challenging. And a good team is what's got us through it.
What do you think has made some of these gin brands fail? Is it not being passionate, just too tough a market, too expensive?
100%. The first thing you said, I think there's an awful lot of spirit companies, not just with gin. And we've seen it on Dragon's Den, on other TV programs where people will contract distill a drink and they're just a marketeer.
Yeah.
They're not passionate. They don't know the process. They're not interested in the process. They want to bottle a drink and sell it. And that's great. You know, all power to them. But realistically, if you're going to make a product that's got some heritage and a little bit of interest and people buy into that brand, they want to know that it's come from somewhere, not just been like, oh, I'm going to do this thing where I put a fancy label on a bottle.
I agree.
They want to know a story.
The
I never got that.
backstories really work.
And when we started, I never got that. Everyone was saying, what's your story? What's your story? And my story was super simple. I think I'm quite simple on a lot of levels. I wanted to make a better gin than the stuff I was drinking. And it was that.
And a good vodka.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's, you know, did you have, when you started this, did you have intentions of making so many different varieties?
None at all. Just, as I said earlier, it was purely going to be a vodka and a London Dry.
Yeah.
And so I told you the story of the strawberry. The next was Oak Aged. In fact, the Oak Aged might have been first, and it was purely, I don't even know what I was thinking. I bought these cute oak barrels from Portugal, but made out of French oak, and they were like 10-litre barrels, and I just thought they'd look cool as bit of furniture in the distillery. And at that time, the distillery that we're in now was super unpopulated with stuff. There was nothing in there. It looked very bare and like nothing. So I bought these 2 little barrels, and I thought, I wonder what would happen if I stuck some honey and some oak and some gin in those barrels and put it in there and left it. And a few months later, I thought, oh crikey, that gin's in there, and we sent that to San Francisco World Spirit Awards and won a gold medal. So we continued doing that,
and that's a good awards cup.
We continued doing that, and then the next flavour was the strawberry, and then after that, I think we went
Dougie's
to.
Bear with
I'm not. Might have been, and that actually, to be fair, wasn't my idea. It was something we did in collaboration with Hardborn Kitchen, a chap called Jamie DeSugas, fantastic chef, and it's a very individual flavour. We do a cocktail called a Degraded Dougie, which is absolutely phenomenal.
That was the last cocktail I had today.
He had that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just killer.
So good.
And then the Forêt Noire, and this was I don't remember the guy, but I was standing in a bar in Malmaison in Oxford an awfully long time ago, and they had a drink on the menu, and we kind of played around with this Black Forest martini idea, and he muddled some fruit at the bar, blackberries, strawberries, raspberries, whatever he had in his garnish tray, and got the juice out of it, mixed it with some gin, and served it as this martini, and it was like, wow, that's kind of tasty. And so, I mean, this has got to be 10 years ago, and so sort of 6 years after having made that drink, we've produced this Forêt Noire gin, which is incredible, and
would you like some?
I would love some, yeah.
Again, dangerous because it's on ice.
And to be honest, having just swigged that last bit of ginger, my favourite skiing drink is Forêt Noire mixed with ginger gin.
Oh, you mix? Oh, right.
Yeah, super good. 'Cause you get that
fruit.
warmth of the ginger, and then that fruitiness, and that sort of velvety texture of the Forêt Noire. But that for me is Forêt Noire is dangerous.
See, the whole thing with Negronis are very, very popular. And they're very hit or miss depending on where you go. They're either too sweet or they're kind of a little bit like hairspray. They're a little bit kind of too raspy.
I like that.
So if you left out the Campari and used your gin,
Oh yeah, I bet.
for me that's the perfect Negroni. You're missing out another bottle as well. So you just have to go for that.
Campari is very off-putting for me.
It's so dry, isn't it?
So dry.
It's just too.
So
too
this
dry.
is essentially high strength piston, 75% piston. Blended with Briatet, creme de many different fruits, because they make the best fruit liqueurs, and we could spend months and months and months trying to produce those ourselves. But I know these guys; they're from Dijon, France, beautiful part of France. Been to where they produce their beverages. They ship that over to us, and we blend it with our gin, and it's turned out to be a staple part of my diet.
See, the amazing
One of
thing
your
is,
5 a day.
Yeah.
There are a lot of companies out there that would cheat and go with essence.
Yeah.
Would go for essence every way, and you haven't done that.
The fact that you've allowed a third party to be part of your gin, I think is amazing.
It's the best in what they produce. They're the best at it. The best in the world at it. Like you go to any good cocktail bar and their creme de mure, creme de cassis, creme de framboise, it's all Briatet. Yeah. It's the one, you know. And they do their creme de cassis de Dijon is just unbelievable. These little black currants that they grow there, just you eat them fresh. You never tasted anything like it. It's like the whole thing with our limoncello, which we'll perhaps come on to. The difference between an Amalfi lemon and a Waitrose lemon, I can't tell you.
we were just about to come on to limoncello because we tried that today for the first time.
For the first time, it blew my mind. I do love a limoncello, and they're very hit or miss. And generally, they're quite miss because you just get the Luxardo. It's just the really sugary, nasty kind of artificial lemon flavour, and it's you got it free at the end of an Italian meal.
So this was another super fun thing that we did. So at the end of the road where the distillery is, there's this Italian restaurant. Giancarlo and Tano own it, and these guys have been friends since they were born. Their fathers ran a restaurant together in Amalfi, where they're from. We were going there for lunches, pizza and pasta, and they would never let us pay for lunch. And they don't owe us anything. They buy gin from us, but they would never let us pay for lunch. And I don't really like that. It's a small local business. I want to pay for my lunch. And they were joking. They came out one day with a piston bottle, and they'd made this limoncello, and they said, "Oh, I was going to call it Pistoncello." And I'm like, that's a really good idea. And we talked about it and decided actually we'd make it its standalone Benedicto's limoncello and pay homage to where it's from. And so they shipped over these crates and crates of these ginormous lemons. They are literally the size of those headlights on that car.
Massive,
they are massive.
Absolutely massive.
And there's 6 of them, or maybe even 8 of them, came down from their restaurant to peel these lemons in the distillery. Honestly, it was the most hilarious scene you've ever seen. They're in there singing at the tops of their voices. These Italian, it was like cornetto songs, if you know.
And you didn't film any of this?
No, we did.
Right.
It was hilarious, and they peeled all these lemons, and it was just like this funny party
the smell
scene.
of those lemons
oh my
as
goodness.
well. A lady came from 500 yards down the street.
What's that smell?
What is that smell? And the doors were shut. Just the smell of those lemons, I've never experienced.
And you could eat them like an apple.
Yeah.
Can we ask, when you do your next batch of limoncellos,
Sure.
can we come down and have a look?
Sure.
Because I'd love to taste a true mouthful.
We've seen a lot of YouTube videos about the Amalfi lemons, and we're like, we really need to get some of these.
They kept the edge of it and put salt in it, didn't they?
The piff that usually you'd think is disgusting and is. So they were salting it and eating it, and it was like, do you remember those candy cigarettes that you used to get when we were kids?
Yes, I do. I think I do.
The texture was like that, so it was just like this soft, semi-soft sort of candy that would sort of, you could just kind of chew it, but it was like that with salt on it. I can't really explain it. It was very weird, and Tano was like, eat this, and I'm like, are you trying to like trick me into doing something that's a bit weird? Oh my goodness.
I mean, honestly, it's, and I'm not saying it because you're here, because we're honest. We're honest in what we do. You've seen our YouTube channel. We have been very honest, and sometimes he was like, "Can they sue us for that?" No, because it's our opinion. We bought it. That's it's what we think. It is one of the best limoncellos I've ever tried.
Thank you.
I'm going to say it is the best limoncello I've ever.
Thank you
because
on behalf
I avoid them like the plague.
Thank you on behalf of the guys from Benedictus as well, because it's them as well, you know.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Great.
And we did kind of educate Grace when she was down. Your kind of metal stopper here, if you put it onto a block of ice for 10 seconds, maybe a little bit longer, it embosses.
It embosses on the ice.
And if you get clear ice, you
turn back to front.
But you turn the ice upside down. So if you get clear ice, you can see it through it.
So maybe we could do a batch with the pea.
The wrong way round.
Listen,
so is it we could do it
we'll make you some moulds to make some piston ice.
It's
a good idea.
That's what we'll do.
It could be a dodgy stamp that comes.
It could be.
Win a prize if you find that one bottle with a backwards pea.
Oh God, that's a good one. That is a good one. But yeah, we found that out on our
did.
drinking night, and it was very informative. But honestly, I was so blown away by Grace's knowledge as well of gin, and we compared lots of gins together, and it was really informative having someone in the industry talk to us about what they feel and what they know. And obviously, she's learnt a lot from you as well. It's been,
and she's very passionate about it.
Yeah.
As are you.
Grace is like a stick of rock. She's got piston inside her arm.
Inside me. Yeah.
All the way through.
Fueled on it.
Right. Well, on behalf of both of us, I'd like to thank you two for allowing us to be here today. We really enjoyed it. We love your gins. We love your vodka. Love the limoncello as well. But more and more, we love you both.
Oh, you're so
we
kind.
really do. It's been amazing.
What you guys are and what you guys are about and what your team is about shines through in what you produce as well. It's amazing.
Thank you. That's so kind.
And everyone, I think, has enjoyed the day today.
Oh, it's been great.
Yeah, it's been a good day.
It's been fantastic.
Everyone's smiling. Yeah.
So
We're
credit
gonna get you guys
credit to you all.
up for a gin school as well. You're going to come and do a gin
Can't
school.
wait.
Yeah, because you do a gin school.
We do a gin school, so you're going to come and do that.
We'll make sure that
gin
Grace and
school.
I are running that night.
We'll run it.
Just fun times.
He's dangerous at gin school.
Man.
Before we go, when you do a gin school, what happens?
You come, sit at the still, make
Yeah.
your own recipe from scratch. So with one of us as distillers, can make your own recipe. You try our whole range whilst you're there, and then you go home with your own recipe gin. It's
It
good
can
fun.
get quite boozy.
It gets boozy when
that
he's
doesn't
there.
surprise me.
I tend to
Right.
I tend to fuel people a little bit because I get carried away, and I get excited about it. And I Grace doesn't put me on many gin schools anymore because I'm kind of got a few plates spinning for using an analogy. But when I do them, bizarrely, I think, oh God, I've got to do a gin school tonight, and it's not. And I don't think that because of interaction with people. I do a lot of hours, but when I get there and you've got a willing crowd, it's like making a wedding speech. You've got a willing crowd, haven't you? And you start it, and you're thinking, oh my God, this is going to be so bad. And then actually you think, I really like doing this.
Yeah.
It's really good fun.
Yeah.
And everyone's excited, and it's like, should we do some shots? And then it all just goes
And then he gets the
horribly
cocktails out.
wrong.
It goes horribly wrong.
If you had a Jerry Halliwell, and then it's just, that's
Yeah.
it then. The
Yeah.
gloves are off.
Well, I think what your, like I said before, what your gin proves is that it isn't just gin and tonic. That these gins stand alone as neat gins. We've been drinking them neat. They stand alone as neat gins. They work fantastically with all different kind of cocktails. And we really actually love your brand. We
Really do.
Thank you.
We think it is one of the best
Tell everyone.
gin brands.
Tell everyone.
Oh, we do.
Talk about it all the
We
time.
sing it from the rooftops.
We do. And if people that are listening and stuff, it's not just about buying one bottle. It's about buying. If you like it, buy it again.
Yeah,
Buy it
sure.
again, keep it on your shelf.
Yeah.
You know,
It needs to become people's regular pour.
And once you see it going down a certain level, then buy another one.
Stock back up.
Exactly.
Stock back up.
Stock up.
Right.
But yeah. Thank
we
you
want
very
to
much.
thank you both.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
It's been a pleasure, and we hope to see you again very soon.
You will, I'm
I'll
sure.
see me in the bar.
Thank
in
you.
about 2
You're welcome.
minutes.
Cheers.
Thanks. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.